Well, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Once again, it is I, your pharaoh of physical media. This picture, Tom Jr. Jackson, I look a little forlorn here. Maybe we should put a little bit more joy into this, especially since I'm holding Dawn of the Dead. That's right, Second Sight's Dawn of the Dead, and I'm Robert Meyer Burnett, and this is Let's Get Physical Media. I bet you hoped I would never try and sing that song again, but I just did, didn't I? This is episode 178 of Let's Get Physical Media, which we got a lot of in 2024, and man, I feel like Sapido in Raiders of the Lost Ark because there's a lot coming in 2025, and it's going to be a great show today. We might have a special guest. You never know. Now, just to be clear, we were going to do a big special show last week with a lot of heavy-hitting luminaries, and some of them needed corporate permission, which we couldn't get in time. So I figured we'd just postpone that till the beginning of next year because the show is all about the future of physical media. So why not start the new year on an optimistic note? And yeah, I'm going to talk about the LG machine information or announcement. We'll get into that. Elliot Cohen did a great job of covering it on a video that he did. I suggest watching it. You're probably asking yourself, Rob, why are you rambling? Why aren't you giving us what we really want? Why are we waiting? Well, you know what? I'm going to put an end to that because 'twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring. Not even Dieter Bastian all the way from Saarbrücken, Deutschland. Dieter, how are you?
Well, Rob, I sold all my Hock Tour coin. I survived the COVID again. And you know, my new favorite word is pickpocket tail. And I say, greetings, imagination connoisseurs. Dieter here I am, Rocky Like Hurricane. And welcome to the B&B Motel for our Christmas edition show just before Christmas. I hope you all got your lists. What physical media do you want for Christmas to get? And Rob, my super chat fell through the cracks yesterday, so I pointed out here. Hope and Glory did it, Rob. They cracked the 2 million.
They did. I saw that. I was going to bring that up.
Yeah. So really nice because we feel like a little bit of a shepherd of that fan film. So for me, this was great that it did that. So quality still sells, Rob. Quality still sells, and word of mouth, of course.
It does. I mean, that is absolutely true, and that's a fantastic. It's a fantastic thing that quality still sells. You know, I mean, and look, to be fair, we've had a great year, physical media this year. We've had great years. Boutique labels have been killing it. Even the majors. I mean, I have to say that even our boutique labels, Warner Archive continues to have, Warner Archive, I know they're not releasing like your favorite horror films because it's archival, but I mean, if you're going to buy a Blu-ray of Must Love Dogs, and I love that movie, you're going to get the best transfer, the best sound from Warner Archive. I just want to say that George Feltenstein and the folks over at Warner Archive still continue to kill it. We got some stuff from them this week, but their transfers of their old films and the care that they put in to everything, because they're not the boutiquiest of boutique labels and they're a studio, they don't get the credit. And then on the other side of the coin, you've got Second Sight, dude. Second Sight. I mean, I think we all know that The Hitcher, and of course, I understand people, look, the Blair Witch Project is a significant watershed moment in film history. That box set and what they did to the film and the documentaries you pointed out a couple weeks ago, I mean, oh my God, in terms of releases for movies, it doesn't get much better than what Second Sight did. Yeah. And then also Kino Lorber's ongoing 4K discs. I mean, I don't know if you got David Tui's Below, but, they're raiding the library. Hey, if Paramount's not going to put this out, hey, Kino Lorber, Ridley Scott's Black Rain is Paramount. But, I mean, Vinegar Syndrome, I mean, our favorite labels, what Umbrella is doing, what Imprint is doing, just unbelievable. We live in a glorious time of physical media. What a year! What a year it's been.
And since it's out now, Rob, I had the opportunity to listen to Act 1 of True Noir, the little audio drama that you did.
Yes.
And I have to say, it's really good. It's really good. The 90 minutes flew by. can't wait for episode 4. So Rob, your recording session yesterday is episode 4 in the can. I can't wait.
So here's the thing. Yesterday was the final mix for episode 4, and it is finished. And episode 4, Nathan Heller. The first 3, the reason I wanted to release the first 3 is because, one, they all take place before Christmas. But it kind of shows you, it puts our main character, it takes him through kind of a story about his own personal life and his manipulations. Everyone's trying to manipulate him, and there's a tragedy.
You get the first key players.
You get all the key players. It sets up the story, but episode 4 is where the plot of this new, episode 4 is called 2 New Clients. And we meet Anthony LaPaglia, who's playing Al Capone, and we're introduced to Chris Carr's Marianne Beam, who is the other client. Those are the 2 clients. And, we hear Jesse Spencer as Elliot Ness say that he's not going to be assigned to Chicago anymore because Prohibition is ending, and Louis Lombardi's character, Nathan Heller, threatens him. And it's really fun because there's new characters being introduced. We have yet to meet Walter Winchell. We have yet to meet FDR. We have yet to meet Giuseppe Zangara. So it keeps adding, and I'm really excited about it. We released it. I mean, I've sent it out to people, and the reviews have been, because you talk about you're doing an audio drama. People don't know what the hell you're saying, and I've been very gratified by the response so far. And of course, for those of you anybody interested in the audio drama, you can go to truenoir.co. And you can either listen to the first act, you can buy the first act, which is 92 minutes, or you can subscribe to the whole series. And in addition to that, my fellow producer, Phil Dingledine, has produced documentary programs. They're short. They're going to be like between 8 minutes to 15 minutes, I guess, where Max Allan Collins goes through the real history of each episode. Because the whole premise behind True Noir is, and as I always like to say, all the best fiction is the most truthful. But our main character is fictional, but all the historical situations and the historical figures he meets are truthful. They're all real. And Max made sure that the story is very historically accurate. And he sort of takes us through how he changed things and wove this fictional story into these real historical events. And I got to give it up. It's a really beautifully produced piece. And those will all be on the eventual Blu-ray.
So it has a little bit of a For All Mankind vibe, Rob, considering mixing reality with fiction.
Yes, although it's more truthful. I mean, all the events really happen and all the people really happen. I mean, like obviously Elliot Ness, who's played by House.
All Mankind is just pickpocketing.
Yes. Whereas this, we have our fictional detective interwoven. And Max is really, I mean, the thing that I've really appreciated, it's one thing, when you read a great script, you sit down and you read a script and you either like it or you don't like it. But one of the things that I've come to really appreciate as I've had to put all this together, directing the actors and editing the show, I've really come to appreciate how Max Allan Collins adapted his own first Nathan Heller novel, True Detective. And what's amazing is how well he's constructed the story. Like, he'll bring something up in episode 1, like he talks about the Jake Lingle case. And Jeffrey Combs is like, look, that was before my administration. I don't know anything about that. And it's not until episode 4 where you find out, well, what is the Jake Lingle case and why does it matter? And then there's a flashback scene, and Max has meticulously interwoven. How I'm always talking about a great story well told. That's what I want. Max has created through these 10 chapters, kind of with clockwork precision, this really robust and very sprawling story, like all great noir stories, that he really brings it all home, and there's not one stone left unturned. It's brilliantly written. And for me, one of the fun things about working on it is I've come to appreciate just how brilliantly written it is as I put it together. Because there's all these interlocking things that I knew were there that, you breeze over because you're thinking about a million different things. But when you start working on it on a micro level, and I'm literally sitting there editing, I'm cutting people's performances together. And sometimes you change things by 1 frame or 2 frames to make the audio sound right. And I'm just like, I'm blown away by Max Allan Collins' work. He killed it on this thing.
So we have our authorship, Rob, is there.
That's my biggest thing, the authorship. And I hope that I've done his script justice. So
Nice.
But I bet you want to know about the box office.
Yeah, Rob, because I have heard there is some upset at the Disney headquarters.
Oh, well, let's
Considering the domestic.
let's start with our friend Anthony D'Alessandro.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about the domestic box office. So here we go as I get down on this. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic 3, is crushing, is running roughshod over Mufasa. So domestically at the box office, it looks like Sonic the Hedgehog 3 took in $62 million this weekend, and Mufasa only took in $35 million. This is domestically. Now, that's not bad, but we're talking a sequel, prequel to The Lion King.
Yeah, that's it, Rob. Yeah.
And, wow. So that's, I mean, I'm sure the people over at Disney are, and you've got Barry Jenkins, you know, the director who directed this. He's no slouch, and wow, not what we would have expected.
Wicked, Sonic has not rolled out everywhere. It hasn't started here in Germany.
No, and you know, Sonic, I have to tell you, remember they did at first when we saw that first trailer for Sonic 1, all the fans complained about the look of Sonic, and they went back in and redesigned Sonic, which is crazy. But they're listening to the fan base, and it's a series of movies that clearly
it paid off.
They paid off. They know what they're doing. Sonic 3 brought in Keanu Reeves as Shadow, and doing well. And you know, kudos to them. And of course, that's a Paramount film. So as Gladiator 2 was unceremoniously dumped on VOD after 33 days. You can now get Gladiator 2 in your home or next week, but way to go to fuck your theater owners over. But Paramount, you know, they have a movie there to replace it with, but different demographic. But still, come on, man, leave movies in the theater for at least 45 days. Come on, guys. What are you doing?
Totally.
Wicked.
The only thing, Rob, we have a little bit of a Christmas corridor, so it could be that Mufasa makes a little bit more
I definitely think
down the line.
I think that definitely Mufasa will do okay. I do, but it's not going to make what they thought. I don't think, but we'll see.
Definitely not.
Wicked is up to 383 million domestic, but we always knew it was going to be a big hit. Moana 2 domestic is up to 359 million. The Angel Studios call it American Civil War movie. Angel Studios is the faith-based company that has been doing some interesting stuff. But Homestead, I actually really want to see Homestead. Kind of a sequel to Civil War, even though it has nothing to do with Garland. Civil War has made $6 million. Gladiator 2 made another $4.4 million, so its total is up to $153 million. Kraven the Hunter domestically after 2 weeks, $17.4 million.
I totally forgot, Rob, that it's even in the charts anymore.
Red One,
was only Rob here in Germany. In Germany, it was at 6th place, Rob. Only 400 people less saw the War of the Rohirrim here in Germany.
Oh man, that's just and Red One, which is now on Prime, made another 1.43 million in box office. It's up to 95.4 million. Lord of the Rings, War of the Rohirrim is at 7.3 million, and for a $30 million spend, you know. And again, look, I love everybody who made. I love Philippa Boyens. I love the animation. I love the character designs in War of the Rohirrim. But I really wish that people would look at, say, something like this and take a message from it. The Lord of the Rings is not about what you can spin off. Hey, Jennifer Salke over at Amazon, stop giving Barbara Broccoli a bad time and don't tell her you want to make a bunch of James Bond spin-offs. Not a good idea. What do you want to make? Your James Bond War of the Rohirrim? I mean, this corporate thinking about spinning stuff off and IPs, concentrate on original material, would you? Because you're not smart enough to make spin-offs. You're not. And even when you find people that are, the audience doesn't give a fuck. So, anyway, that's my...
Yeah.
Did I say fuck? Yes, I said fuck. I've just said it 3 times. Now I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. Anyway, I mean, it's really frustrating to see the business, because it's not good for the business when somebody does things and they don't make money. You know, you don't want that to happen.
Especially when you hear the movie has only been made because they still own the rights. To
Yeah,
the material,
but if you there's a rights thing, make a good movie.
Yeah.
Make a good movie. And the best Christmas pageant ever is up to $38.4 million. I mean, think about that. The best Christmas pageant ever has made $38.4 million at the box office. Now, admittedly, it's been out for weeks, but that means it's made more money than Craven and War of the Rohirrim combined. So,
what else to say?
Everybody needs to stop.
This nice little hit for Lionsgate, Rob.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, Lionsgate, best Christmas pageant ever. We might be hearing a little bit more about Lionsgate soon. Nice. I just knocked over. That was really bad.
Hopefully not the new stuff.
No, I did. You know what? I come in here to set up, and I just knocked it all over. Damn it. Anyway, what about you?
Rob, I think we had 2 super chats came in.
Well, you might think they did. Let's see if they actually did. No. We do. So, Secular Monk says, I Shonen Fairtage? How does that? Shonen?
Wait, let me. Is that some German wording, Rob?
Yeah, dude.
Let me just see if I can scroll that far back.
Well, he said...
Schöne Feiertage. Nice holidays, Rob.
Nice holidays. Okay, thank you for that. I finished Act 1 of True Noir and loved it. Great job, Rob. I wanted to see what you thought were the best releases of 2024. I really liked Dune 2 and The Crow. Oh, are you talking about physical media releases? Because I love both of those. They're great discs. But, yeah, I mean, look, there's been so many. I'd have to sit down. I wouldn't want to mention. There's been so many from so many different places. I mean, look, one of my favorite releases was Imprint's Capricorn 1 because they included only the Japanese version that has a scene I'd never seen before, and it's a movie I've been watching since 1977. Yeah. Crazy.
And it's the better version for you now.
It is the better version, you know. And let's see, it's Cult Cinema 83, a.k.a. Undead Sick. Says, I sent my letter about Dr. Doom and Robert Downey Jr. again, wondering if you missed it. Nope, I have it. I also sent you a letter about Superman, James Gunn, and the Snyderverse. I have that too, and I will be reading those. I also have a letter from Major Chai Chai about the Superman trailer, which I'll probably read tonight on our show.
Nice. Yep. And speaking of the Superman trailer, Rob, I actually watched the teaser, and I loved it. I loved the teaser. Just pictures, images. We don't know how it will all fit together. Will it work? But for me, this was just exactly what a teaser should do. Just get you excited for the movie. And now I will not watch any more promotional material considering Superman. It was just enough that I needed to get excited for it. So for me, the trailer totally fulfilled its job.
Well, I agree. Great. What I was most interested in was the tone. You know, and I thought it told me exactly what the tone of everything was going to be, and I loved it for that reason.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. I thought it was great.
So, Rob, should we show a little bit before our guest comes in?
Sure. Absolutely. Lay it on me, Dietz.
Okay. I start with, finally, I get my revenge. It took some time. And just like with the Deadpool ones, you have to get both. You have to get Y and you have to get Jinx too.
Do you, though? Do you?
Yeah, you do. You do, Rob.
Do you?
If you love the show as much as I do, you need both. You need the 4Ks and you need the Blu-rays. So the Y one is with the Blu-rays, and the Jinx contains all first season in 4K. And hopefully that's a good sign that we will get season 2 on Blu-ray. This one, Rob, considering Jeremy Saulnier, I thought, okay, I need to watch his first outing. And I thought Murder Party, which was not the biggest best outing for me. It had some nice score effects, certainly. But even at a smooth runtime of just 80 minutes, it was lacking and slacking in the middle part. But we have a nice booklet and a nice interview with him in the bonus section, which he's going over through making Murder Party again. So this is worth owning considering the Jeremy Saulnier collection, but it's definitely not his best work. But everyone starts small. The next one, Rob already knew that I would buy this, but I have to say this is for the diehards only. Of course, I bought the Great White Blu-ray, considering live and raw, but those are not really what I would say capturing concert footage. This is a concert, but just recorded with one camcorder, probably some member of the family from back in the days where you only have one camcorder. And it is a Blu-ray, but you can get it on DVD. The DVD would totally be enough considering the quality. And this is only for die-hard fans of the band. This is not something you can show other people to convince them of Great White, because the quality, considering picture, I would give probably the picture 2.5 out of 10, considering the picture quality. The sound is okay, but it's really not something that needs to be pressed on a Blu-ray. Great White live. Then let me just see what I'm thinking about. Okay, we go here from Criterion, the 4K of The Shape of Water.
Nice.
Love the design of the discs, and it comes with booklet, of course. And yes, Thomas, I saved the sticker. God damn it, Junior. God damn sticker. So it has booklet in it. Let me just see. Yeah, it's the usual. You can fold it out. So, Shape of Water in 4K. What is Guillermo actually doing at the moment? I have no idea.
He's making a Frankenstein movie.
Oh, nice. The Shape of Water. And okay, we go here. Unfortunately, the series was cancelled, and I already owned the first season on Steelbook, even if I'm not the biggest fan of the season, but I just love the design of the suit, so I had to get Halo, the second one.
Of course.
2 as a Steelbook, which comes with more discs, so they're just stacked across over each other. But I just love the design of the Master Chief suit, at least. But I've not even watched the second season, so not even on Paramount Plus I gave it a watch. The next one I saw this week, a nice little Chinese thriller. It's called Only the River Flows. This is the UK Blu-ray. And this is for people who love Memories of Murder. Which means, I spoiled the ending, but it could be frustrating again, Rob. It could be frustrating again to solve that crime, you know? You get something, get some stuff answered, and then at the end, who is the damn killer? Who is the damn killer? I didn't know. The next one, I don't know if probably our friend Des Doyle know more about the movie, because I think it is an Irish production, and Des knows all about all Irish movies in production available. And it has a different title in Germany, which actually I would say is even a little bit spoilery, because the original title is double blind, and the German title is Don't Fall Asleep. It's about a clinical trial, We have our contestants here, and of course, the stuff they are taking is not the most savory, So, really good one. Nice thriller, 90 minutes, just in one location. And, of course, there are some side effects that the company would like to get rid of. So, Double Blind is the original title. Do I have it here? But they changed it up in Don't Fall Asleep here in Germany. So this is a little bit of my first hole.
Well, the first thing I would like to show, I have to give a big shout out to my friend, Dr. Howard Yang. And Dr. Howard Yang, who watches this show, said to me, maybe I can help you out. And suddenly, arriving in my mailbox was this.
Oh, nice, Rob. Nice.
So now I have to say, I love Vinegar Syndrome. I've got all the love in the world for Vinegar Syndrome. They put out Body Melt. They put out Liquid Sky. They put out so many great titles. They're doing a great job. Cinematography, they're the new label, their partner label, doing things like Going South. I mean, they're killing it. They're crushing it. But I got to say, this box, this artwork, Vinegar Syndrome. You got one of the cool monsters. You could do better than this. Now, I think they probably were able to put this out on the market really quickly because Imprint, they're putting out their 4K version of it in Australia. Yeah. Now, I don't want to rip on Vinegar Syndrome, but come on, guys, you've got a horror movie, and here's your inner sleeve. Like, really? And here's your booklet, and the title wraps around the book. And while it's good to get this book on the keep, and everybody's very excited to have the keep, this is a film that's never made it. It was on Laserdisc. You've got foreign DVDs. I would have thought that this would have warranted. I mean, the Beastmaster has a flapped metal, So it looks great. It looks great. And really, when it comes down to it, that's all that matters. But this packaging, come on. You could do better. Now, I want to thank Howard Yang for getting. Oh, by the way, to give them credit, in the O-ring here, they do have the original theatrical artwork. Nice. So, which is fine, but they could have done so much more. And only because I only say that, Vinegar Syndrome, even with the tough love, you've done so much better in the past. And I know I don't want to rip on packaging. I'm happy to have it in 4K. And I'm happy to have their limited edition version. I'm just saying, as Kirsten Dunst said in an interview with a vampire, I want more. Just saying. Just saying. All good. All good. Then I did get a box from Kino Lorber, and it came with something that I'm pretty stoked to have. First of all, this is, they're always sending me these really interesting documentaries. Never Look Away, directed by, get this, Lucy Lawless, about Xena, about a photographer. And now I haven't delved into this, but it's about a photojournalist. It's a documentary about a female photojournalist. And I thought this was pretty cool. So that's really neat that we have that. And then Kino Lorber sent me a movie that I actually saw in the theater back in the 90s called Rhythm Thief. That's really, really good. So I'm going to get to what else Kino Lorber sent me, but we have a guest, and I'm going to put our guest. Actually, she's classing up the joint. She's probably the best looking person that's ever appeared on the show, to be honest. I'm just saying that, because it's true. I mean, this place is such a sausage fest all the time that it's going to be nice to have some different energy. You know what I'm saying? So this is somebody who I would not have a Dirty Dancing steelbook in 4K if it was not for our next guest. And someone like myself, how much a Dirty Dancing Steelbook means to me. So, and if you don't, you're going to find out. So I want everyone to clap their hands and jump for joy because Lisa Stevenson, LIONSGATE's Lisa Stevenson, an executive from LIONSGATE, a studio executive, is about to appear on the show, and she's going to tell us all about LIONSGATE's new direct-to-consumer efforts and their new physical media devoted website, LIONSGATE Limited. Lisa Stevenson, welcome to this show.
Thank you.
Hello.
Thank you.
Wow, see, you do look lovely this morning. Thanks for coming.
That was a nice setup. I wouldn't say I'm an executive, but thank you.
Well, you're an executive in my heart. You're an executive in my heart.
Good.
Now,
That's
I just want to give full disclosure. You are somehow connected to Cliff Stevenson, who's one of the great special features producers. I believe you are high school sweethearts, and you continue to be together. You're husband and wife. You have lovely children, and you're two of my favorite people. What a couple! What a power couple! I think any movie fan aspires to be in the kind of relationship. Your husband's making special features for the new Michael Jackson biopic that Antoine Fuqua is directing. But that's fine. We're not here to talk about your husband. People talk about him enough. We're here to talk about you. Now, this is amazing. The first time I ever heard about LIONSGATE's initiative that Cliff said they were going to steal our name for this show. Cliff's like, they're going to call it something like, We Love Physical Media. I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay, since imitation is the sincerest form of flattery, but you guys launched LIONSGATE Limited. And here is, I got to say, I love the homepage for LIONSGATE Limited. I think it's really outstanding, and I do have it here. This is the latest homepage for LIONSGATE Limited. This is the new website, lionsgatelimited.com, that you can go to. Tell us, Lisa, what is LIONSGATE Limited?
Well, LIONSGATE Limited is our new collector's website that we created for fans of physical media. And about a year ago, my partner, Dustin Dean, who you know very well.
Yes.
He and I went into our president of sales and distribution's office and said, we got to do this. This is the way that we would be able to really dig into our 20,000 plus catalog and release some of these titles that you wouldn't necessarily be able to find, or that some of the retailers may not carry. And I'm not saying he and I are the ones that, really kicked this off, but we definitely stressed how important we felt it would be for the community and the collectors. And, one of the nice things about LIONSGATE being a mini major is that we can do that. We can walk into, the office of people who are making decisions and give them ideas. And this is where we are now. So, yeah.
Well, I have to say, your initial releases, I was incredibly excited about. The first thing that you guys did was you brought over, now, Studio Canal put out this version, this swag-filled version of The Conversation. And if you can see it, it's a great release. People don't have to import it. You guys decided to bring it over with all the swag, with the cassette tape, with the posters, with everything. And you're also doing a steelbook version of this that is equally impressive. I mean, I really love the steelbook version of. So if you don't want all the swag, you can choose to get that steelbook, and it's got this new artwork that I really love. And then you also re-released Apocalypse Now, which was already a great package, but as a steelbook, which I thought was absolutely terrific. Very, very cool. And I have that steelbook right here. I should probably let me show it on the screen. Let me put myself on the screen. Here's the steelbook, and what I really love about it is it slides out, and it's got an O-ring, but the the O-ring forms. It's clear and it has the logo over the top. It's really beautiful. And I was joking with you. I said, there are 6 discs in here. And would I have loved to get a 6-disc box set? Sure. But that would have cost $200. And that was impractical. and I thought that was really, those 2 things were really great, but they were previously existing material. But now you just launched 3 Quentin Tarantino films, Kill Bill 1, Kill Bill 2, and Jackie Brown. And Jackie Brown had not been out in 4K, and Kill Bill 1 and 2, obviously they existed as Blu-rays. So tell us about the Quentin Tarantino collection that you just released.
Well,
and there's 2 versions. There's the retail version, and there's the Lionsgate limited version.
That's right. So that, excuse me, that has been one of our most, exciting franchise, or Kill Bills and Jackie Brown have been one of the most exciting things we've been working on for the last year. And we felt like this was a very good home to have the Steelbooks. And then Amazon has the, national SKUs, and those have different artwork as well. And,
which, by the way, I have to say, they're cool. I mean, I think that the people are like, well, I want the original theatricals. I'm like, they were never great posters to begin with. And certainly the DVD covers were, I thought what you guys did for especially both versions are very cool. You've given people an option.
We have a really great creative team who commissions really great artists to do a lot of these steelbooks. And, I do think that we stand out from the rest when it comes to the creativity of the packaging. So I think it's a good combination of, my team making sure that we have the best transfers. And that's not me, actually, that's our mastering team. But we're making sure we have the best, mastering the audio. We're making sure that we have hopefully every special feature that has ever been created in one place, all together. And then, moving forward, we already have 2025 planned.
Really?
We're already working on, we do. We have a lot of great titles that we're working on. And
well, wait a minute. Come on now. Hey, hang on. A lot of great titles. Any little preview, little taste of what you might have coming down the pike? Hints?
Well, I know Third Man was announced as well with our announcement.
Now, are you going to bring that box set with the musical?
Yes.
The music? You are? Okay.
Oh, I don't know, actually.
Because I wouldn't. That's a tough one, because that's the same like the Conversation, but it has, music. That would be a tough thing to replicate.
Yes. But we do have Studio Canal's content that we're releasing on our site too.
That's a big hint. Okay.
That's a big deal. And what I can say without telling you any titles that we're working on is we pay attention to the forums. We read the forums. We are paying attention to what people want, what they don't want. And this is the perfect place for us to be able to listen to what the fans want from us. And I'll just tell you one perfect example. It's not a title that's on the limited site, but Kickboxer, we had an Uber fan that reached out to many of us at the studio. And, we went, Dustin and I went back to the mastering team and said, hey, what is this something we can do? And it took a lot of work. It was a lot of communication directly with that fan. But what we were able to bring to the table, I think he was very happy with. And I think a lot of people were very happy with it because it is one of our, top sellers at this point. But those are the kinds of things that we want to continue doing specifically for Lionsgate Limited, is listening to what people want. And, we've got a deep, deep catalog. So, we're already starting to look at 2026 and what could be on the horizon for that. But it's very exciting. Yeah.
Now, I mean, obviously, I think this is a big commitment from a studio to physical media, to the continuing health of, and obviously we had the news that LG was going to discontinue producing players. But I've tried to explain to people they didn't have a big market share anyway. And I think what I'm seeing as a former Laserdisc buyer for 40 years ago, Criterion started out 40 years ago selling Laserdiscs, that I see the physical media market the way Laserdiscs were. It's going to be a vibrant market that's directed completely really toward collectors, because the consumer, I mean, look, people will spend however much money that Wolverine and Deadpool steelbook cost from Disney, which was extraordinarily expensive. I thought that was a little, why are you doing that to your consumers? And you're giving people a choice. You've got Lionsgate Limited that you can go get those cool new steelbooks, and you can get like the conversation, or you can buy it still at retail. You can go to Amazon, which I think is really fair. But seeing that a studio has a something like this is a real, I think it says something about the state of physical media and what Lionsgate is committing to. And my question for you is, are you excited about this? I mean, it seems pretty exciting to me. And how long do you see people buying physical media for? Like, if you were to guess, there's no wrong answer, but what do you think?
I don't like to do that. And I'll tell you why. Because I feel like for the last 10 years, people have been saying physical media is dying, physical media is dying. And, we hear that over and over again. And all it does is stress me out. And I don't need that kind of stress in my life. And I really feel like it is like Laserdisc. There are the collectors. There are the people that will continue to buy this as long as we are giving them what they want.
Right. That's great to hear.
So, yeah, I feel like we're not licensing out our titles. We want to release these titles ourselves. We feel that strongly about it. Our president of sales and distribution started as the head of home entertainment. He's very passionate about physical media as well. We don't just have this library for nothing. We're one of the top studios with the largest libraries. And so I think if we can keep releasing stuff that people want, I think that we'll be okay. The biggest thing is just the more people are buying, the more we're able to do it and do it at a reasonable cost.
Right.
So to all your fans out there, if you continue to purchase, then we will continue to have titles and we will be able to keep them at a reasonable cost.
Well, I got a few. It's funny now that, full disclosure, you've had me write some essays. Thank you very much for the website. I'm very proud of that. But that means that, people are contacting me thinking now I've become a paid Lionsgate shill. And I've often said, please, I will be happy to shill for the studio. But I still will give you my personal opinion. And one of the things that I've always liked that Lionsgate has put out steelbooks. They've done special editions. You guys have always done box sets. And then I really liked the Vestron titles that you were doing, and you were releasing so you've always gone back and done some really interesting things with your catalog. And do you guys still have like the Trimark catalog? We do. So there's a lot of,
we do. So Vestron isn't going anywhere. That's, we're just trying to really think about, what the next steps are with that, and possibly getting into 4K with those titles. And but we love that line. And Dustin Dean is the one that started that, and we want to keep that going.
Well, I was trying to explain to somebody, they were like, well, on the Lionsgate Limited site, we're paying a little bit more for steelbooks, and I said, yeah, but they have to make a lot less. Like, people don't understand when you're making something that's going out nationally or internationally to retailers, you might make 10 times what you'd make if you're selling, and the more you make, the less it costs. So when you decide to, you don't have to make Quentin Tarantino steelbooks, and I have them all here. And I personally really liked the style. I thought the style really fit Kill Bill quite well. Like, here's Kill Bill 1, which I love. I think this is very cool. And Kill Bill Volume 2. And then here is, I love the pop art. And there's a style that's going along with a lot of the other companies that are releasing a lot of these Asian films. And they have kind of the same artworky feel. And it seems earned. And I really like that. Here's Jackie Brown. And you're re-releasing Reservoir Dogs again, which I think is great that you have a version. And people can choose if they like them. They can go to your website and get them. I mean, Dieter and I we hardly care. I mean, Dieter, when was the last time you looked at how much something cost? Yeah, see?
Not that often, Rob. Not that often. Unfortunately.
And
for the bank account.
Yeah, I mean, I know. I think it's great, and you're offering consumers both ways to go. And that was just something I had to explain to somebody. Look, there is no more Best Buy that you're going to be filling up with steelbooks. So. Right. Which is, I think people have to remember that. And it's interesting to me because, like, I was buying Star Wars letterbox laserdiscs from Japan for $150 a pop in '88, and I never balked. I was like, take my money.
Same with Cliff. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it's. I think that I understand everybody wants something, but I think you have to understand that people need to understand that the fact that you have to commission artwork. You're commissioning artwork, which has to be paid for, and it's a process, and people need to understand it's called Lionsgate Limited for a reason.
That's right. Well, and we're, when it comes to the mastering, the filmmakers are involved with every title. They are approving the color. They are approving the Atmos mixes. For us to be able to do new special features, that's not cheap. But we're trying to give people, this is kind of the ultimate set that has everything from everywhere that we can get our hands on, and give people a reason to spend the money that they're spending.
Right. Well, that said, that man, on the screen, there's three of us on the screen, but that man to the right of me, he spent $800 on Tim Palin's artwork book. The photographic book.
Less, Rob. I bought it for the retail price back then, Rob.
Okay, I just want to say you've got every release of the Hunger Games. Will there be a Lionsgate Limited Ultimate release? Because if there is, Dieter will buy it again.
I think, Rob, they release the Hunger Games often enough, but I wouldn't
know.
They're going to make a sequel.
What would you want, Dieter? If we were to do another set, what would you want? What would be the thing that would get you to buy it again?
Aside from Jennifer Lawrence bringing it to your house in Saarbrücken, Deutschland.
Exactly.
That would be tough. Perhaps not now, some years down the line. Perhaps with some retrospective about the series. So perhaps some years down the line. Not now at the moment.
Okay. Well, there's another movie coming. You know that, right?
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, there's another book.
Yes.
Okay. There'll be another movie.
She was Susan was writing, I think, on a new one, but I didn't know if there was actually talk about doing a movie. Oh, nice.
I'm going to look and let me see if the audience has fired off any questions. Yes, Paul Allen Bernotto asks why the 4Ks are higher priced, but I think that we kind of covered that. And
yes.
But also, go ahead.
And
sorry.
I'll tell you, I don't know if people are aware of this, but for steelbooks, you have to order. There's a minimum order with Skenavo that you have to order. So, that adds into the pricing as well. And just like you said, it's like anything that's happening now with inflation. Everything has gone up. As we know, packaged media is getting more limited. And, some of the reason that it is higher is because we were selling things for cheaper, or we were doing a lot of sales, and people were only buying on the sales and they weren't buying in the beginning. And so we're kind of in the situation we're in now because of that.
Right. But look, I think what's really interesting, when we first talked about this, there are other companies like A24 that has a really robust online retail component. And especially with physical media, they're making their own titles available in special editions, and I think I see Lionsgate as being like the second studio where you're catering directly to the collector market with something new that you can only get on the website. And the fact that it's not just me writing articles, there's other people writing articles, and you have filmmaker profiles. You're turning your website into a destination spot, not just to buy, but also to be enthusiastic about the new releases. You're supporting the new releases with other additional, call them special features themselves, on the website. So people are, I'm sure as it grows, it'll be a destination spot for people to come and well, you know, they'll mostly bitch and moan and complain as they do, but it's also a place where they can share enthusiasm for the products that you're putting out. Now, you know, I think you have a collectors traditionally, like, we love our genre films, science fiction, fantasy, and horror, or cult titles, or crime thrillers, whatever. We love that kind of stuff, and you guys do have a huge, robust catalog of things. Like, look, you put out Waxwork as a Vestron title, I'd buy that in 4K. You know, I don't know, like what. There's a lot.
Write that down.
You know, Warlock or what? There's a lot of Trimark titles. I would go back and be like, hey, you know, that would be. But that's a conversation I could talk your ear off for 4 hours. But there's a lot of, you guys have a lot of stuff. Now, how many releases do you see coming out in 2025? Do you know, like, are you going to target like 2 a month or something like that?
That's the plan, is to at least have a couple a month. We'll have a drop every month. And, you know, the nice thing about having this website too is that if something's not ready, you know, say we're trying to get somebody for special features, but they're not going to be ready in time, we can move things around. And, you know, we're not held to any kind of rules in any way. We're kind of making our own rules. And, you know, what I'll say is the team that launched this, we are all physical media enthusiasts, and we all pay attention. Everybody had a say. Everybody had an opinion. You know, our top priority was making sure that when things are being shipped, that they're shipped with extra padding. We don't want any damages. We don't want, you know, anything like that. If we can ship it early before the street date, we're shipping it early. So, you know, there's just some little perks with being able to buy through the website.
I can actually vouch for that. I got that Apocalypse Now Steelbook, and I was quite impressed with how it was packed. You know, because I think one of the things about Steelbooks is that I got a Galaxy Quest Steelbook from Amazon. It was like, it's almost like somebody bent it in half on purpose, and you're like, come on, man.
No,
you know?
And that was that was like our one priority. And if there is, because I've seen a lot of comments online, if there are any damages, we do replace them. So, just so everybody is aware.
Now, when can we expect announcements from Lionsgate? Like, when your 2025 slate?
I think it's going to be like mid-month. Everybody should sign up for the newsletter, because a newsletter will go out the day before to the people who are signed up, to let them know what titles are coming, you know, our way. But we've got a good slate for the rest of the year.
Yeah,
sure.
And hey, I won't say what it is yet, but you even filmed something for this show when you were doing some behind the scenes stuff, which I'll show at a later date. But because that would spill the beans on something, but that was pretty cool. So thank you for that one. Well, is there to wrap up? I mean, is there anything that you'd want to say to? I think what you guys are doing is great. I'm really excited. I think that you're making a product that you couldn't. It was hideously expensive already to ship it in from Europe. So it's great that you're also bringing over those, because the Studio Canal stuff has been really, really great. They've done I really love what they're doing. And they've put things that you can only get in Europe. So hopefully we'll see those coming out through you guys domestically.
They're great partners of ours. So we've got some things maybe coming from
maybe.
Studio Canal.
Well, that's
In
good.
the future,
You
in
heard it.
2025.
You've heard it here first. well, Lisa Stevenson, I want to thank you for coming on the show, and
Thank you.
and thanks for letting me write for the website and sending me stuff, which is always appreciated.
Absolutely.
And we will continue.
And
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, like I said, send in your ideas, what you're looking for, what pushes you to purchase, what it is. Is it the special features? Is it the packaging? Is it everything combined? Because we are listening and paying attention, and we're here to make the fans happy.
And that's LionsGateLimited.com. And I really like the website too. I like it. I'd love to see. My only criticism is the Lionsgate Limited logo. I wanted to get a big logo to put on the screen, but it's so small I couldn't.
Okay, I will take that note back. I will take, and there is an Easter egg. I don't know.
Oh, I didn't know that.
There's a couple L's.
Oh wait, hang on. I'm looking.
On the sides. Okay.
Okay, so here's the homepage, and you can see up in the top left corner it says Lionsgate Limited with a logo with 2 L's between the Limited and the Lionsgate.
Yes, and it's supposed to be the filmmaker fingers coming together. Is what that is. Just a little bit of an Easter egg.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I didn't get that. I love that. Well, you know what?
Yeah.
I want a t-shirt. How about some swag? Like, I just want to say,
will work on
I
that.
got this from Radiance. This shirt from Radiance. I'd love to get a line. It's a cool logo, and I know that you should do a whole bunch of Hunger Games swag shirts for Dieter, so he'd wear them for the rest of the year.
The only thing, Lisa, catching fire in 4K with the shifting aspect ratio.
Yes. I will tell you, originally, we released it the way that Francis wanted it to be released. Yeah. But I am hearing that that's how people would like to see it. So it's on my list.
To-do list. Okay.
Just so you know. Yep.
See, there you go. See what we bring.
This is all you have to do.
See, this is the joy we bring to the world, Deets. Well, Lisa, I will let you go. I want to thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you.
Please give Cliffy Boy a nice hug and a kiss from me. Have a great holiday season, and I hope that everybody checks out Lionsgate Limited, the website, and gets those new Kill Bill 1 and 2 steelbooks, Jackie Brown, and Reservoir Dogs. So thank you very much for being here. It was great to have you.
Thank you for having me. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, I'll see you later.
Okay.
We'll see. We bring everybody.
Nice.
I mean, how delightful is Lisa? Come on.
Awesome. She wants to know. She wants our input, Rob.
She wants. Well, you know what? How often? I'm going to call her a studio executive anyway, because anybody that works at a studio is an executive in my eyes.
What was great, Rob? Like you said, they're not giving their titles away, to other companies. They want to distribute them themselves.
Yeah, because they're smart. The value in Lionsgate is they've spent a lot of time acquiring other libraries. Like, look, did Trimark always make the best movies in the world? No, but they vibrantly made a lot of genre cinema. Like, I love the first Warlock. I would love to get Warlock in 4K. And I will say this, Lionsgate has always had a big commitment to making steelbooks and things like that, and they're going to continue that commitment. So I want to thank Lisa Stevenson for coming on board. I want to thank Lionsgate Limited for allowing her to come on board. And see, we're painless to talk to. We're enthusiastic. So
nice.
I just wanted, and now that Lisa has graced us
I
with
totally forgot, Rob. Did you already show the Kickboxer steelbook?
No, I don't have it.
Already? Okay.
Yeah, I don't have it. So I showed 2 Kino Lorber titles.
Yeah.
I just wanted to show the other thing that Kino Lorber sent me. This is the Hope. Everyone talks about the Hope and Crosby on the road movies. Bing Crosby and Bob Hope. People are like, who are they? When I was a little kid, my dad loved these movies. My dad loved them. So this is all of them. Kino Lorber has put out a box set of Hope and Crosby's all of their road to wherever. So, and these are fun, so there is the road to Hong Kong, the road to Rio, the road to Bali, the road to Utopia, the road to Morocco, the road to Zanzibar, and the road to Singapore. And what's really interesting is Bing Crosby and Bob Hope. Bob Hope used to host the Oscars every year. And what's interesting about these films is we don't really have, we had comedy team-ups. We still have comedy team-ups, but Hope and Crosby, they had success apart from one another. But Hope and Crosby became a genre unto themselves, doing these kinds of, we don't really have that anymore. Now
that you are mentioning it, Rob, I don't come from the top of my head with a
there were teams like I think
not really, Rob, not really. Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, a little bit, but not really.
Or Key and Peele, Jordan Peele, and Key and Peele, like the Key and Peele show, but they never did a series of movies like this, even though they could have, and I think it would have worked. Cheech and Chong. There have been modern equivalents, but these are classic, and the fact that Kino Lorber put these out. And again, like what I want to say that Warner Archive pioneered stuff, but they're going back in and trying to get all of the old classic artwork and things. And this one came out in 1962, and Joan Collins is in this. Joan Collins. So it's great to have all these, and what a great thing to get right before Christmas from Kino Lorber. So thank you, Kino Lorber, for sending me that bit of cinema.
So perhaps, Rob, the coffee and cake set.
That is a coffee and cake set, if ever there was one. 200 Watt Studio has something for Lisa. I didn't see this because when I looked, it wasn't here. 200 Watt Studio says, for Lisa, please keep the theatrical mixes of the film on every release. 5.1 Atmos are great, but the original audio mixes are important to cinephiles. I totally agree with that. I totally agree. I like to get the original mono mixes or whatever the studio mixes are. By the way, I have to tell everybody about a new favorite physical media channel that I have been watching that is both delightful and maddening at the same time. I don't know how many people. I'm sure a lot of people watch.
Just like it.
I know. And I fell down a rabbit hole and watched some of his videos till late into the evening. And the channel is Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader, which is a reference to, of course, Ben Kenobi in Star Wars, going off on some damn fool idealistic crusade. But he is a very kind of a scholarly gentleman who rips apart the transfers of most studio. He particularly has hatred for Paramount. Go watch his videos on the Godfather movies. But he is a true cinephile, and he really loves he loves the James Bond movies. He knows a lot about the Bond films, and he is a real stickler for things like original mixes, and he can't stand how things are transferred. And I grew up with somebody, my film friend Craig Hyland, who I actually gave Craig Hyland a screen credit on Free Enterprise. I created a screen credit for my friend Craig Hyland, and the screen credit was technical complaints. Technical complaints.
I missed that joke, Rob.
Yeah, it's in the credits. It's in the credits. My friend Craig Hyland, and this damn fool idealistic crusader. I don't know his first name, but I was watching his channel. I stumbled across his channel. I was like, how have I never seen this channel before? But he reviews books. I mean, it's a great channel. He really delves into a lot of things. But sometimes I get fucking annoyed how much he hates stuff. But he's got a point. I mean, but here's ultimately, you know what? Just go. His channel's great. He's great. I love the fact that he's very curmudgeonly about these things, and he's usually right. Okay. And so I give him all the credit in the world. He really knows his shit. He does his research, And so, Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader, go check that channel out. But I warn you, I know that was the thing. I'm like, how did I not know his channel?
Never popped up in my feed.
I know, and I'm like, but he's definitely somebody. And you know what I particularly appreciate about his channel? You'll love this because you do the same thing. When he's talking about, like, when he's going to go rip on the James Cameron titles, when he's going to rip on, like, Terminator, he has, like, all these different releases, laser discs, DVDs. He's got them behind him. So he's clearly got a massive collection, or at least a massive collection of whatever he's covering. So you go, Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader. You have an open invitation to come on this channel whenever you want.
So he's probably collecting for a long time, too.
Yeah. But he really knows his shit. And so shout out to you, Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader. Love it. Love him.
Nice.
Yeah, so where are we at now? Let me see. I think we're caught up. We're not behind on
A new one from 200 Watt Studio came in, Rob.
Another one? Well, that was the one. He says, yes, he says, totally agree on the Damn Fool Idealistic Crusade channel. A fantastic channel. Very thorough. Yeah, no, I agree. I'm a big fan. Although, I think one of the things that isn't, here's something that while I agree with everything he says, and I believe my personal philosophy is you want to try and emulate the theatrical experience as closely as possible. The thing is, seeing light projected through celluloid and played through, say, whether it's mag or whether it's digital sound or whatever it is, in a theater, the entire medium is different. So when you're watching something that's digital or electronically, it's an emulation, call it an emulation, it's never going to be the same. You're translating something from one medium into another. You're no longer watching light being projected through celluloid. So in the process of transmuting that into another format, there's always going to be things that you can't. Like nowadays, we're seeing kids that don't like grain because they don't know what grain is.
Obviously.
They grew up watching Pixar movies, which are created in a computer. There's literally no photochemical process. One of the things that used to drive me crazy was when people would watch Close Encounters or Ghostbusters, when the HD format would come out, and they're like, this looks so grainy. Well, that's because no one understands what optically printed visual effects are. They don't get that, you're literally shooting through layers of stuff, and of course they're going to be grainy or dirtier, and when people complain about that, I understand that they weren't there and they haven't, but you also have to take into consideration. So, and I get it. Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader will bitch and moan and complain. He bitches and moans and complains about the Indiana Jones movies because of the color timing of the visual effects and all kinds of things and how you can't see matte lines anymore. But the thing is, you couldn't see matte lines in a theater. But when you take a negative and you do a transfer of something, matte lines show up. The matte boxes around spaceships or things like that. So immediately you have to decide, okay, are we going to now change the visual effects so we don't see matte lines for the format? And the answer is, well, yes, you kind of have to do that because you don't want people seeing matte lines. And people are like, well, you might have to color time the effect shots differently than how they looked or go into a computer. So there are compromises that have to be made when you're translating something into certain formats. That said, there's a lot of things that he's absolutely spot on about. Most of the things he's spot on about. But, a lot of the time when you're thinking about how these things are preserved, he says, I really wish you had the original mono tracks from something that's 50 years old. Well, they might not be around anymore. Because pre-home video, people thought that, okay, after a movie is played on television, I mean, that's as far as it's going to go. And television was 640 by 480. It was a little bit better in the UK and in France, but home video changed the landscape, which is great for film preservation. But you take things with a grain of salt. But he doesn't. He really. If you watch his videos, that's one of the things I really like, because I try and be nice, when it comes to, but he doesn't give a fuck. Like he will fucking eviscerate, and it's kind of fun. I mean, sometimes I'm like, boy, I wish I could speak that way, but I also want to be enthusiastic. I also want to, try and support to get those Godfather.
And from Europe, it's always a case by case basis.
Yeah, it is.
I know Aliens doesn't look like it should, but I love how it looks.
Well, see, now that's a really, now that becomes very an interesting philosophical point. Like, to me, Aliens never looked that, compared to the original Alien, because it had, between the Skotak's miniature photography and the way he was shooting it, the grain was all over the place. It changed. Like, so yes, James Cameron completely altered the way Aliens looks. But when he makes the point, and he says, I think one of the things that, and I agree with him, look, in this day and age, if your source material was a 4K transfer that was done in 2012, transfer technology has gotten much better. And when you're not doing, like, why aren't you going back and putting up, like, here's the thing, even though a 4K transfer might be 12 years old, it still costs a lot of money, and it's very laborious to go back into the negative, put up the negative on a telecine and do a wetgate transfer, and then do a transfer of a 4K, and to make a 4K negative, to make a 4K transfer off a negative, then someone has to go back in and recolor time the whole thing. You're talking maybe six figures in terms of money, of work. And where's that money coming from? Like, we would love it if the studios had an unlimited supply of cash, but you'd think with their larger titles that they would do that, which a lot of the time they do. But there is other factors. It's not like there isn't somebody, like Lisa just said, they have the best people. They're looking into it. And Lionsgate's better than most at going in and finding this material and looking into it. And, Cliff has been consulting with Lisa. I know a couple of titles. I'm not going to say what they are, but going out, and Cliff has one particular set of titles that he has a great affection for, that he's gone back and found elements from the 70 millimeter versions of things that they couldn't get in the past, and he's been working on that. So there are people that are trying. And look, as we move further and further away, as I've always said, pop culture has a half-life of 20 years, and every 20 years that go by, we're that much further away, and things, I hate to say it, not from a cultural standpoint, but from a corporate standpoint, they lose their value. That's why what Kino Lorber is doing, bringing us silent films, what Warner Archive is doing by bringing us the best transfers of these classic titles, if they're not doing it, nobody would be. And, but damn fool Idealistic Crusader, come on the show. Get angry. Stay angry, as Doomcock says. So, what's up? What's next? What's good for you?
You were showing titles, Rob.
Well, I finished the Kino Lorber. That was and that's just one section of titles.
You wanted to show the documentaries, Rob. Were you done with the documentaries?
That was it. I just all the Kino Lorber just this week. I got from him the On the Road, the Hope and Crosby movies, and then the documentary, and the Rhythm Thief, which is I think a really good indie film. That's all I got from them. But I got a lot of other stuff to show. So why don't you go ahead?
Okay. Where do I start, Rob? With this one. I know it's not the best steelbook design, but the normal standard MRA isn't that thrilling too. I got M. Night Shyamalan's Signs, the 4K. And strangely enough, the 4K comes with the Blu-ray here, but Sixth Sense is only the 4K version. So Signs in 4K. And the Sixth Sense, which is nicely cut out here. But this is only, strangely enough, only the 4K, except if they're putting it OH on. No, just the 4K. And I read good things about it, but I haven't delved into those titles.
It's probably because they didn't make Blu-rays of the new transfers.
That could be, Rob.
Now, are these? I notice. Are these Disney 4Ks or are these domestic German 4Ks?
They are from Disney, but the company who distributes them is a different one here. But they are available internationally.
That's good.
They are Disney releases. And speaking of Disney again, I got Willow, the Steelbook, which is really nice considering even the back of it. But I haven't seen how the movie looks, and I don't think I even owned Willow before that.
There's a reason for that.
That's on DVD. I remember having a good time with the fantasy movie, Rob, but I haven't seen it in ages. So it has to be new, evaluated, of course. A movie for me that was really great this year, I totally love, and I'm really don't know why it doesn't get a release in Germany on Blu-ray, because I had to buy Challengers in Italy on Blu-ray too, and I bought Zoe Kravitz movie Blink twice.
All right.
Because I had a great time with the movie. And it's out in the US and in Italy and some international market, but strangely enough, those two movies didn't get a Blu-ray release here. Then this one was a great steelbook, considering a little bit of a comic look. I've got, of course, the Shaun of the Dead. That's one of the best zombie comedy movies.
Yeah, I got to get that steelbook. That's awesome.
And look, Rob, how the Blu-ray looks. Nice vinyl.
Yeah, like when they're throwing the vinyl at the zombies.
Yeah. And considering the Cornetto trilogy, really nice idea considering the style of this steelbook, Shaun of the Dead. Then, Rob, I was on the edge. Do I buy this title? Do I don't buy the title? Because the reviews were not really particularly good.
Wait a minute. With all the stuff that you've shown on this channel, you're now telling us that there was something you were on the fence about because the reviews weren't good? For all the cat in the bags you buy, and now you're saying that what, you've suddenly gotten taste?
Something like Double Blind, Rob.
Oh, okay.
I haven't read any reviews. You know, that was a cat in the bag, the Double Blind. This was a movie that was in the frame of our sphere. Got a little bit of talked about. But I have to say, it's actually, you should give it a chance. You should give it a chance, and I'm talking about Hellboy, the Crooked Man.
Wow.
Because I quite enjoyed it, Rob. And you like folk horror,
Yeah.
It is more in the style of a folk horror movie. Yes, you have to get beyond the beginning with the train and the spider. Yes, the CGI is not the best, but it was really nicely done, I have to say. It's more toned down. I loved the new actor of Hellboy. I really had a good time. I was really surprised, Rob. Sound mix is great. Yes, it is a little bit on the cheap side here and there, but I think you should give it a chance. And this comes from the UK. It contains the 4K and the Blu-ray. But not only that, it comes with the poster. So I was really surprised, Rob, because I didn't expect it to be any good at all. But I saw it and I thought, this is way better than I thought it would be. The Crooked Man. Because it's more, and it has a lot of even practical stuff, and it's more like a horror movie instead of the fantasy movie that we've gotten before that. And we have some artwork cards. There are witches and some stuff like that.
All of them witches.
Give it a try, Rob. Give it a try. It's not that bad. It's good, actually. Quite enjoyed it. So I was contemplating, do I buy Hellboy the Crooked Man? Should I first watch it perhaps digitally and then see where I stand with the movie? But I said, Okay, come. I give it an immediate purchase, and I didn't regret it, Rob. Help the Crooked Man. Recommendation from me. If you like more folk horror. Rob, this title, I don't know how many times you and I have probably bought this title, and it's already out in 4K, but the design of the steelbook was just too nice to not get it. Leon, professional, for the 100th time again. As the steelbooks. It doesn't come across.
That's a real. I love that steelbook though, dude.
The rims of the glasses are a little bit heightened. You have, of course, the director's cut and the theatrical version in 4K, and the director's cut and theatrical separately on 2 Blu-ray discs. And here the gun is a little bit heightened, considering the look. So really, I couldn't pass that up, bro. It looked too.
Yeah, it's really cool. I'd love to get that.
This one was price reduced. It's, I wouldn't say the best steelbook, but it's a little bit more like, yeah. But I haven't seen the movie. The movie did get nice reviews, but I heard somewhere not too thrilled with the movie, considering Hayao Miyazaki's The Boy and the Heron. This is the UK steelbook with the 4K and the Blu-ray. Rob, have you seen The Boy and the Heron?
I have not.
Me neither. But I'm looking forward to it. And then, I have to give a shout out to one of the German companies, Turbine, because they're still doing it. They're giving us 3D titles. And this week, I got 2. I got the Transformers movies, Rise of the Beasts in 3D, and Bumblebee they put out. And the third one, I wasn't too interested because there are always 3 titles they put out. And you can, of course, switch it out if you love this cover artwork more than this one. You could reverse it. They come with the Dolby Atmos track. And especially Rise of the Beasts, I saw in the theater in 3D and loved the 3D. And I was a little bit down that the movie didn't get the 3D release. But now, here it is, Rob. Here it is. And you could switch the artwork out here too. And I'm really surprised how fast Turbine is putting them out, because I was thinking there would be a lot of time before the next set of 3D titles would come out. But no, here they are. 3D is still there and going. Next one, Cat in the Backdrop, a price-reduced title. Haven't seen it. Out of Darkness. Just because I always try to put at least 2 titles in the shopping basket, so the shipping costs get a little bit split between the 2. So I put Out of Darkness in it.
Nice.
So, second total from me. Second total.
Well, I guess I should jump on in and say, it's not just Warner Archive that does right by me. It's also like they changed their shipping. Warner.
Okay.
And so they deal with a new shipping company that sends out messages and things, and they were sending out a specific box set for review for people to talk about. But in this case, they weren't going to send it to everybody. And they said, this is wild. They said, if you want to get a review copy, you have to explain why we should send it to you.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of like when I was married, I used to live on a street in LA, Sycamore. And when I was married, we had a guest house that we rented on Sycamore. And when this guy, like there was I don't know if he was a real estate mogul or what, but it was a lot of these big houses that were converted into, the first story and the second story were separate apartments, and they were beautifully redone. And you had to write a letter to the landlord, to the company, explaining why you wanted to live on this street. which I always thought was.
Are you worthy, Rob? Are you worthy to live on our street, in our neighborhood? You know,
we didn't have to do that because we were living in like this guest house, but I always thought that was like a cool thing to have to do. Like they cared enough; they spent a lot of money renovating these places, so they didn't want any just schlep rock to move in. They wanted people that really cared. So and
they wanted to know where they put Rosemary's Baby in. You know, which apartment?
Well, it is a religious neighborhood, but the reason that I wrote a letter is because this is something that I had never seen before. That is a cultural touchstone. I've seen clips, obviously, but I've never seen a full episode. It's a box set, a TV show box set in 4K. Now, one of the interesting things that I've heard is other presentations of this particular show. The people have complained about it because it was originally in 4:3, and obviously they blew it up to fit a 16:9 frame, and it wasn't preserved well. But I'd heard tales that this particular show for 4K, they went back and remastered it beautifully. They retained the original 1:3:1 ratio, and that it was supposedly top down, like maybe not as extensive as Star Trek The Next Generation, but it was given that kind of reverence. And based on the importance of the show to TV history, I figured, all right. So I wrote a letter. I wrote a little missive to the woman who put out, if you want this, you have to tell us why. And I said, and in my letter, in my little missive, I said, listen, I consider myself I don't have a PhD, but I'm a pop culture aficionado, and there are certain elements or certain areas that I have blind spots. And I would like to especially with the importance of this particular show to American television history. It's embarrassing that I don't know anything about this, really. I mean, I know about it.
Yeah.
But I'm sure some of you might have guessed.
I have a feeling what was coming up, Rob.
Seinfeld. This is
Rob,
one.
I'm so proud.
Are you proud of me?
The best sitcom still.
This is it's still, look at this chonky box set, all remastered in 4K HDR. Now look, this is not going to be known for its amazing cinematography because it's a sitcom.
No.
Now, I would assume, since they were remastering it on 4K, that it was shot on film, so it's probably a single camera sitcom. So, and it's been getting great reviews. And I did pop in the first episode. So I've now seen a full episode of Seinfeld.
You have to give the show 1-2 seasons.
Yes.
To finally find its drive.
Yeah, and I've heard that the first season looks a little different, but it was intriguing, and I can see that it's short because sitcoms are half an hour. So, and with commercials, you can zip right through it, like 22 minutes or whatever an episode. But I want to give it.
Now you will know where all the pop culture references.
Yeah, that's the thing, and you find out where. I mean,
there's anything wrong with that, Rob.
This doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to buy or get the Friends box set. I'm just saying, Friends.
Yeah.
This interests me more than Friends does. You
got the right one, Rob. You got the right.
So, a big shout out for them allowing me to get this.
I am perhaps the only one. I loved the final episode.
Oh, so okay.
I know there was a lot of controversy, but I loved it. It was nostalgia to the max, Rob. I loved the last episode.
Well, I guess
why people hated it.
I want to say thank you, Warner Brothers, for letting me convince you, or the people that distribute these for reviews, for this, because they said we're not going to send many out. If you get an answer to me, like I had to write it right away and send it in,
and
so I did.
If you want the original aspect ratio, you have to get the 4K.
You have to get the 4K, which again, the wrong-headed thinking. Why isn't the whole screen filled? I mean, most of our television history up until the 2000s and after was pretty much, X-Files did finally switch over to a 16:9 aspect ratio, I think in season 5. Was it season 5? Yeah. But this is a 4:3 show. So, I don't know if it switches.
Considering, like you said, It's a sitcom. It's not particularly cinematic. I don't mind 16:9 versions of sitcoms at all.
Well,
It's
they
great if
talked.
you got the original aspect ratio, but I don't mind if it's 16:9 because I watched Seinfeld on Netflix many times with the 16:9 aspect ratio. It's fine. It's totally fine.
Yeah,
But
I guess.
Of course, the 4:3 is the original. I totally
Yeah.
get it. Totally
So I want to thank Warner Brothers for. I look forward to delving. By the way, it looks and sounds great. I mean, for what it is. They did a stellar job remastering this. Stellar, and I really look forward to having.
And you know that George is a little bit like Larry David.
Yeah. Yes.
That's Larry David's equal. No?
Yeah. Absolutely. And I do think that I'm glad. Thank you, Warner Brothers, for sending this out. And I'm very happy to have it. And again, the picture and the sound quality are tremendous for what it is.
Blu-rays were great back then. They were great remasters already.
Oh, wow. Well, they did a really good job, a fine job. And then additionally, I got Warner Archive sent me some stuff.
Just in the second look, I think they wanted to know if you really are worthy of the set. Because it's an expensive set look. It's not just.
Oh no, that's exactly right. You're looking at. I mean, this is a 4K set with 9.
Yeah.
I mean,
probably I don't know at the moment the price $200 probably the set.
Yeah, and there's 8 4K discs in here because seasons 1 and 2 are on one set. So that's
the
exactly.
First two seasons are a little bit shortened considering the amount of episodes. Rob.
Yeah,
you have to give it 1, 2 seasons. At the third season, they're really getting into the stride.
Yeah, that's
what I liked about the show, Rob, is you have the A story, the B story, the C story, and you think they don't fit together, and somehow at the ending they bring it all together.
Yeah, no, it's I can't wait. So I'm really looking forward to delving into it, and again to have this 4K box set it's great because it's not something I would ever have bought.
I know. I know. So
but they did a great job.
I'm proud of you, Rob. That you wrote something, that you got it.
So yes,
cornerstone of sitcoms. For me, it's still
I'm very excited to delve in. Now I got a nice box from Warner Archive, a lot of really interesting stuff. A movie called The Tall Target, which again, what I love is I know nothing about a lot of this stuff, but it's not surprising because George Feltenstein and I like a lot of the same things. I always find out a trainload of assassins, destination Baltimore, target Abraham Lincoln. Trying to assassinate Abraham Lincoln goes right along with my audio drama. And so I'm in. The Baltimore, it's a true life story about the Baltimore plot. Never seen this movie. I'm in. I read what this is about and I'm like in. And Anthony Mann. I mean, they've always got these great directors and the people involved. I mean, obviously they're putting out Fritz Lang movies. There's one in here that I've never seen that I really want to see. Here's another one, The Spanish Main, which I know nothing about, but Beware the Barracuda. I don't know anything about this, but maybe it's a pirate movie. It looks like it's got pirates in it, and I'm in. So, hey. And again, it doesn't matter what it is. This is a Technicolor film, so I bet it looks incredible. The compression art, the transfers are amazing. Here's a Cary Grant movie, Mr. Lucky. Come on, Cary Grant. He was already lucky, but Mr. Lucky, cheater, scoundrel, hero. Cary Grant is Mr. Lucky, and
not a pickpocket detective.
No, he's not a pickpocket. No, Cary Grant is a sophisticated scoundrel in this entertaining tale of a gambling ship owner and his shifty attempts to raise money. I mean, I'm in. Count me in. These choices, I don't think people really appreciate the effort that goes into Warner Archive. By the way, do you know who loves Warner Archive? The damn fool idealistic crusader. He is always, he's like, one year, I think it was I went back and watched like his best of the year 2022. And he picked Warner Archive because he's one of these guys. He's like total film nerd that goes into all this stuff, and he appreciates all the work that everyone over at Warner Archive does, and Warner Archive was like his company of the year for like 2022. So good on him. Nora Prentice, again, these covers. Would you keep your mouth shut if you were Nora Prentice? Loving her once is once too often. I mean, come on, Ann Sheridan as Nora Prentice. Come on. Perfectly noir in my book, says Eddie Mueller in TCM's Noir Alley. I mean, bring it on. What's not to love? I mean, love it. Can't wait to see it. Then, this is really intriguing. Then we'll jump into the modern age. Here's a movie I had never heard of called Whenever the Cane Turns Up, Someone Turns Up Dead. Black Eye Knows Why. And this is this was directed by the great Jack Arnold. And Fred Williamson from Dusk Till Dawn, whose search for a murder weapon spins into a spider's web of suspense, linking a religious cult, a porno ring, a missing person, and a notorious drug underground. Labeled the Hammer because of his gridiron style, the former pro football star attacks the role of Stone with the same hard-hitting driving style. So it's like a pimp's cane? Is that what this is?
Yeah.
This is a blaxploitation movie that I've never heard of. Bring it on. Like, they already put out Jim Brown in you go, Warner Archive. This is right up my alley, too. Never heard of it. Can't wait to get it. Come on. And I love Fred Williamson. You know, I've talked about my love of Fred Williamson, even when he was in, why am I drawing a blank on his name? Original Gangsters. The director of Q, the director of It's Alive. Why am I drawing a blank? Larry Cohen. Original Gangsters. Fred Williamson is the fucking man. Happy to have this. And finally, a Lena Wertmuller movie. Do you have Lena? Is it Wertmuller? Lena Wertmuller.
Wertmuller.
So, Giancarlo Giannini, who was, of course, in the James Bond movies Casino Royale and Quantum of Solace, and Candice Bergen in a movie called Night Full of Rain. Now, check this out.
Okay.
The End of the World.
Looks a little bit like Against All Odds cover.
Right? It's totally like Against All Odds. Now, listen to this. The End of the World in Our Usual Bed. And look, I mean, they're clearly in bed together. So I get this again. Nothing is fair in love and war. Lizzie, a liberated American photographer, falls for narrow-minded journalist Paolo, and then finds she can't live with him or without him. And I'm like, bring it on. And Lena Wertmuller directed it. So you have the female gaze. I'm sure that this movie will be entertaining, if for no other reason than the cast. But here's the thing. The only reason I'm holding this in my hand is because George Feltenstein knows things that I don't know, and that's why this is out. And I bet it's great. Do you know what George Feltenstein and I both have great big love for? And I would love it on 4K. Mommy Dearest. That's how I know we will be friends forever. Not just because he got me 2, not 1, but 2 Wild Wild Planet posters from Warner Brothers when they were throwing out all their old posters.
Yeah.
So he gave us a blaxploitation movie and a Lena Wertmuller yeah. So there we go. There we go.
And just to get back to Seinfeld, 1 second, Rob. The good thing that you have it on disc, Rob. If you want to watch the show on streaming, you have to jump. Sometimes it's on Netflix, then it's leaving Netflix. It's there, it's on Amazon, it's here, it's there. But it doesn't have a particular home, considering streaming. But now you have the whole season, the whole show.
Nice.
That's always good. Always good to know. No.
We have let's see. Walter White Walker says, "Merry Hanu Christmas, guys." Well, thank you.
Merry good.
Thank you. And then Walter White Walker says, I thought that Superman trailer is the best teaser I've seen in decades. Only way it could be better if that was actually a Slash on guitar. Maybe it was. No. Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed it. For me, I was most curious about the tone of the movie, and I think we got a taste of that. 200 Watt Studio says, what's going on with Warner Archives? The Searchers, my Amazon order keeps getting delayed. There was some delay with the Searchers, but I believe they're sending it out. I did see a message come in that it's either going to go out or it's gone out, so it's coming. I can't wait to see what that looks like. I'm expecting that George Feltenstein will have outdone himself with the Searchers, and we're going to get one hell of a transfer. So don't quite know where or what's going on, but they probably couldn't get all these out in time. So, but I don't have no fear. I can tell you that it's coming sooner rather than later. So it's not. I don't think it's been delayed a long period of time. A 5 Dot Toast sends in a $20 super chat and says, "I'm sure that the best way to remaster Aliens in James Cameron I'm sure that the best way to remaster Aliens in James Cameron's mind would be to get his DP from Avatar to reshoot the whole thing again with mocap and Sigourney Weaver doing voiceover work. The 4K disc aims for that."
It's almost there.
You and I and a lot of people, I have to say, a lot of people were liked.
You were totally critical at the beginning, Rob. Was on you posted on Instagram. Look at that shit, that trash. But you have to give it a chance, and I was totally on board.
To me, here's the thing. I've always loved Aliens. I think it's great, but it never looked good. It was always all over the place because it was essentially a low budget movie. And
I think the Kodak stock wasn't that really.
No, they were using all. So it's all from scene to scene. The grain patterns changed, and I think what they did to it gave it a look. Look, I get torn. I can get torn. Torn. Like I am the purist. But it's like when War of the Worlds, my favorite movie when I was 5, to get. A lot of people didn't like the remastering of War of the Worlds. I thought I did, and the fact that they removed the wires from the Martian war machine coming out of the gully, that to me it distracted from the experience. And now that they're gone, I'm like, I think that's awesome. Yep. But so
and at least considering Aliens, we still have the Blu-ray with the old transfer and the green. So at least you have an option.
Yeah.
True Lies, The Abyss. You don't have an alternative option.
No.
Problem with
although I think the Abyss is probably the best of them.
Yeah. But like I said, Rob, the Abyss looks too clean. It looks like it's shot in the pool.
Yeah, the Abyss does it does need grain. You're right. So
you need that grain in structure in the water. Rob.
It's true.
So I would have done it 50-50 thing, Rob. Grain.
So we are caught up. I mean, we're caught up on Super Chats, so.
Nice. So, Rob, because it's 2 weeks, I have seen stuff. I have seen Conclave.
What'd you think?
Because it's out on Peacock. Nice thriller. Nice to know Edward Berger is again in the running for awards. But for me, it was a nice thriller, but I don't think I will revisit it many, many times. It's more like a good one watch for me, but I don't think it's a repeat viewing. And you mentioned it in the box office charts, and now it's out on Amazon. Of course, I took the time and watched Red Run. For me, I think, Rob, the concept, considering taking center hostage, is great, but I think you should have toned it down. Don't make it a CGI spectacle, just more like an action thriller with agents, leave some fantasy stuff in it, like Krampus. This was great, practical makeup effects, but don't get too big with the CGI stuff. Just do it like a normal action thriller, Get Santa back on track. Then I watched Heretic with Hugh Grant, totally love that Ukraine has more like a second wind now. That
Yeah.
you can play such roles. Totally had a good time with the story. Of course, this will be a must purchase. Heretic. Then a great series, Rob. I know 007 is in the waits, and I have good news. Lashana Lynch is still working for the MI6. I watched on Peacock, Rob, the day of the Checker with Eddie Redmayne. Totally recommendation from me. Great series. Can't wait for the second season. I don't know if you have seen it, Rob. I totally had a blast with it. And Rob, since he is, the bad guy with the sniper, but it seems he's liking his job, somehow, I had a great time with the series, Rob. Totally a big recommendation for me. The day of the Jekyll, and it's even, I think, in the streaming charts. So a little bit of a hit for Peacock. And finally, Rob, this week, I know I've seen it now and can talk about it. I've seen Anora True.
What'd you think?
Totally loved the movie.
Right?
Because I was surprised how funny it is.
Dude, it's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Yeah. I was thinking it would be more down gritty, I know it was with the Russian mob, I hear about she getting tied up, so was thinking, oh, it will be a tough situation, but I was surprised how funny it is. It's more like almost like a road movie.
It is. I mean, can you imagine? People should be seeing this movie in a theater with a giant group of people because it's so much fun.
And I had, Rob, I'm not good in expecting how the movie will turn out, the twists and turns, but I was thinking, I would love to see if it would end that way. And then the movie fulfilled my wish. And I said, great. And for me, Rob, Mikey is set for me. Mikey is a lock for me for the Academy Award. For me. But I haven't seen the other movies. I haven't seen Night Bitch, Baby Girl. But for me, Mikey is a lock.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely. Because she's carried the movie over 2 hours. And there's not many scenes without her.
She's amazing. I mean, oh, my God. You love her.
Yeah, totally. For me, it's a lock. And I was surprised, Rob, how funny the movie actually is. I didn't expect it. I thought it was a little bit more gritty. No,
and it's frustrating to me that I really think that they dropped the ball. It's not that it had a bad trailer, but there was you can't just have a trailer.
But the trailer is actually pretty tough, Rob, for that kind of
I know it is. But that's why they had to figure out they had to market it more. They had to come up with some social media campaign that would have been clever
But I think, Rob, it will come into the view again with the awards shows, If it gets awards, it will come into the view again, perhaps play again in the theaters. And it wasn't a financial failure, considering the box office. Yes, I get what you're saying. It could have done more, but it was not a flop, considering if the budget is correct.
I know, but
I think 6 million, and it made 30 worldwide. So considering the ancillary markets, it will be totally in the clear. But I get what you're saying. It could have, of course.
It should have been a blockbuster. It should have been. I think it was one for the. It's a movie that people will remember in a long time from now. And I think young people, like if you were like in college and saw this, you would love it.
Yeah,
love it.
Yeah, totally. So this was the last that I've seen, Rob. So should I go show more physical media?
Show more physical media, buddy. Major Chai Chai says Merry Christmas, Christmaka.
Nice.
Dieter and Rob. By the way, I have to say that she sent me Major Chai Chai sent me a box of swag from the a space center, and I'm now looking for it because I had it hanging here and I just moved it.
Okay.
In this box, here it is. In the box she sent me came this keychain. Removed before flight.
Removed before.
Now, these are things that hang off ordnance on like planes and stuff, like missiles. I just love that somebody made something like this. So, these are for sensitive areas. They have this. You got to remove this stuff. So when you see planes like on an aircraft carrier or something, and they have these dangling from everywhere, I had this hanging from the microphone, but it was just too annoying to have it dangling here. But You know, sometimes it's just little things that just give you pleasure. Like, and now I never thought I wanted these. I want to get like 10 of them and just start hanging them on everything, hang them on the microwave, hang them on the. No, I wouldn't do that. But I mean, it's just sometimes you get a box full of swag and it's something strikes you. It's the simple thing that you love. But so thank you, Major Chai Chai. It was great. There was a stress ball of the moon.
It's always good, Rob.
That I can't stop playing with.
Release
So
some of that.
yeah. But anyway, I wanted to shout out to Major Chai Chai and thanks for the Christmas wishes. Justin Toner says, "Hi, Rob and Dieter. Excited? Well, come on, man. We're gonna get to Criterion's March releases, but I'm not gonna say what they are. You know, leave some things." But Justin says, "Hi, Rob and Dieter. Excited for Criterion's March releases, especially. I'm putting in the pre-order today with the 30% off sale on their site, which includes pre-orders. Cheers." Oh, really? I hope that stays on till tomorrow because Criterion has a banger to 2025 coming up. So I'm excited about that. But yeah, they have. If you'd ask me, I'll just say, okay, they're putting out Godzilla versus Biollante in 4K. Come on.
It was not in the big set that you bought.
Yeah, but not in 4K.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
4K. Nice.
Yeah. And I love Godzilla versus Biollante. That's only one of what they're putting out, but it's coming out. So, you know, Criterion giving us the original Gojira in 4K and then giving us Godzilla versus Biollante and Godzilla -1 in 4K. We live in wondrous times, Dieter. Wondrous times.
And that actually, Rob, is a nice segment for me to show more because I finally got my Godzilla -1 with subtitles that I can read, Rob. You know, not like the Japanese one. This is the German one. But it doesn't come with the black and white version. This is just the color, 4K, Blu-ray, and bonus features. And since it's Christmas, Rob, I thought later we give one away, but this is not the German one. This is the Italian one, which comes with English subtitles. But the Blu-ray in it is code B. But the 4K, I would assume, is region free. We'll give that away a little bit later. And I went to the web to get some trivia question because I have not near the knowledge considering Godzilla as Rob does. Ken the Back, Rob, came out in America and the UK. Which movie? Beelzebub.
Beelzebub, like Beelzebub.
Beelzebub, yeah. Looks good. Looks a little bit of a which movie?
Okay.
Let me just. It was a nice print on the disc. You know, Cat in the Back, Rob. It says dark, wicked, and devilishly fun. That's central. Hope they're not. I hope they're telling the truth. Unforgiving and utterly frightening. Okay.
There you go.
There you go. Then from second side, Rob, I have no idea actually what this is, because I don't think I have seen it. Creep.
Yeah, that's the Mark Duplass movie.
Duplass.
Yeah, I didn't order that. Maybe I should. It's seconds. I can't believe.
I have no idea, Rob. I will get back to you. So the back of the set. Then we have the disc. Just see if. So I've never heard of it. So it's actually a blind buy. Because you always told us, second side, blind buy it.
Yeah, it's true.
So the booklet. Visit and some lobby cards. Let's see if I can damn slip off the X.
There you go.
It's Mark. So I have no idea, Rob, what will awaits me with Creep. Then, considering Nora getting awards buzz, the next movie will not get awards buzz. Probably the most hated movie of this year that only you and I pretty much loved, and some people in our live chat too. Even Quentin Tarantino thought it was great. and I watched it yesterday again, and I have to say, I like it. Joker, Volume 2.
That's a steelbook, right? Yeah, it looks like that's
Steelbook,
really nice.
yeah. Correct. And Rob, I was surprised considering the aspect ratios. I wasn't expecting 1:9 as many scenes. I was just believing that only the music numbers.
So it does switch
switching
between the aspect ratios.
Yeah, but really often. So I would say 50-50 considering 235 and 190. So way more often than I thought it would. And I love how the movie continues.
Yeah, I need to get that steelbook.
Yeah. There are different variations, Rob. This is just one variation of a steelbook motive. There are different ones. Then Cat in the Bag, Rob. I have no idea. This is not the movie with Frank Grillo, which will come out later. But it is a werewolf movie. It's called Wolf Hollow. Looks good. But Cat in the Bag. And the last one, for a little bit taking a break from my haul. Quite surprised, Rob. It got good reviews. And actually, I have to say, yeah, it's good. Transformers 1, the animated one.
Yeah.
This is the steelbook. The 4K. Love the back of it. This was a typical steelbook, which doesn't look cool on the website where you think, the design, well, I'm not sure about it. But when you get it, it's shiny, Rob. It's shiny. It's shiny. And then the back, And I totally had a good time with it. And perhaps, since it's from Paramount, like the other ones, Turbine. How about Transformers 1 in 3D? Later down the line. That would be nice. So a little bit of my third haul.
Well, I got a box. I ordered some stuff from Radiance, with our OBs, our favorite. So,
yeah.
First of all, I got this shirt from Radiance too. One of the things that's interesting, and I got to give them major props, and I had it. It was just right here. I can't find it.
Yeah.
They sent out a little booklet, Radiance in 2025, and they had articles. They talked about, there was an article about some of the movies they couldn't get for various reasons, like they were outbid by other companies. And I thought that was really interesting. Kind of they updated everybody about where Radiance is going. They teased upcoming titles, and they are going. Radiance is jumping into 4K. They teased. It was great. They had like the generic Radiance cover that you couldn't read, and where the picture would be, it was all black. So again, I'm a huge fan of this company, and I loved getting that. Update. And they have a subscription. You can subscribe to get all their titles. I mean, that kind of stuff is pricey, and I would love to do it because I really love what they're putting out. And that movie, The Cat, the German film that we've talked about that they have coming out, that looks so good. And what I realized is you can go in and on YouTube, you can find all the trailers for the Radiance movies that are coming out for the most part, and pretty exciting. So I bought a few titles from them. One of the first titles is not even a Radiance title, but they had it, and it's a movie. First of all, it's just Death Game. The object is to stay alive. Now this is a 70s movie, which I've never seen.
And I bought the US version. I showed the US version.
Yeah,
have it back there.
So. A relentlessly painful and violent film. Trainer shows the gross sickness of a violent society. Now, again, so this actually comes out from Grindhouse. And if you go to, it's a Grindhouse releasing film that's being released by Crocodile. It's got tons of special features. And like Colleen Camp, who I interviewed for special features for Valley Girl. She was in Apocalypse Now. Apparently, and Seymour Cassell, the guy that these women torture, I smuggled Spanish cigars back to America. I mean, Seymour Cassell was big in John Cassavetes movies. When I went to Sitges in Spain to show Free Enterprise back in '98, he stars in this. He's the ill-fated guy that gets tortured. I mean, come on, if Grindhouse is putting out, it has a different cover.
This is my cover.
Yeah, I think it's your cover. And then, of course, it's got a booklet, a reversible sleeve, all kinds of special features. So I had to order this. I think you made me order it because of your review. So I got it and saw that Radiance had it on their site.
Yeah.
So I ordered it from Radiance. So I got this, the Grindhouse
I'm
releasing.
not sure why I decided for the US one. It could be that the US was longer out and was even a little bit cheaper than the EU.
Probably.
But I could be wrong.
So then I got this slap the monster on page 1. Again, I'll read this. I'll watch the trailer. I know nothing about this, but I watched the trailer and I thought, okay, this sounded really interesting. And Radiance is one of those. It's like Warner Archive. Sometimes, look, is Messiah of Evil a great movie? Probably not, but it's interesting in horror history, and they did a great job with it. So I don't know anything about this. Then you jump forward and get the old classic Haxan. The old, the witch movie, and
So
the old silent film.
Double feature up with Spiesel.
Yeah, there you go. So Haxan, again, you got the Obi. It's a box set. They do such a good job. They did. Look, did you get me Planet of the Vampires in 4K from Germany? Yes. Did I buy the Blu-ray of Planet of the Vampires from Radiance? Yes, I did. So
And look what I bought from Italy, Rob. The Italy version.
that's
of the Vampires.
wow. That's 4K too. I bet that's great. What a cool cover.
Yeah, it's got that nice O-ring. Because, Rob, the German version that you own is sold out. It's not available.
No, it's gone.
So this is the Italian one that I bought. And it comes, again, with this.
Yeah, the R. I mean, I love that movie. So I love Planet of the Vampires. Truly.
And a booklet. So I had to get it from 4Cult to get my knowledge up, considering Planet
Oh,
of the
yeah.
Vampires.
And so the only thing with these box sets,
Unlike yours, Rob, this is only 2 discs, because I think the German one had 3 discs in it.
yeah,
If I remember
it does.
correctly.
It does. So Haxan, the only thing is when you buy their box sets, and I mean this is really cool. They got the silver embossed. I mean, I think I bought this multiple times in my life.
Looks a little bit like a second sight.
Yeah, and it does. It's got that, but again, you've got the cool, and again, folk horror, whatever. Great booklet, and they do a really fine job. 2 discs in here. There's all kinds of art cards. I mean, they went all out. They went all out for this. Oh, and there's even wow, look at this
Reversible cover.
reversible cover. I gotta bust on the. This is why Radiance. I love Radiance. I love their name. I mean, look at this. This is the kind of world I want to live in.
Oh,
Devils are in the trees. Come on. Naked girls seeking them out like The Witch. I mean, this is definitely, you can watch this as a double feature with The Witch. Film history in the making right there. So Haxan I picked up from them. Dogra Magra. This is 3 different, I believe, Japanese short horror films.
okay.
So I had to pick that up. It's also 15 rated, so you got that. I think that's what that is. And then World Noir Volume 2. Big box set. World Noir Volume 2. Again, we love our Japanese crime thrillers. And there's French stuff in here, German. And what's not to love? Symphony for a Massacre. Actually, there's no Japanese films. Oh, no, there is. Cruel Gun Story. Come on. Why not? So I got that from, that was my box I got from Radiance. And then they included, their little booklet was pretty extensive, on their upcoming 2025 releases. So that was exciting.
Yep.
It was exciting to get that. I was excited. I don't know where it went. It was right here, but it was great. So
inside the title, or was it?
No, it was a big, like it was an oversized pamphlet. But order something from Radiance and they'll probably send it to you because it's worth reading. I thought it's kind of a state of the company. And again, reiterating their commitment to what they're doing and the fact that they're jumping in. I think they've only been around for like 3 years. Yeah. So pretty exciting.
And even if they got out bid drop on some titles, that could mean that those titles come out too.
Right, yeah.
But at least come out from another label, at least.
Yeah, and they gave a list of all the titles that they wanted to put out but couldn't. So I think it's pretty cool. They're pretty open with everybody. And obviously these companies that are catering to us, they know what we want. So they're I thought it was great customer outreach. You know, they took some time putting this together. So Radiance, not only do we appreciate your titles and the way you do them, but the fact that you also take the time to communicate with your consumer base in this way. You go, Radiance. I think I need to subscribe to everything you put out.
Nicely done. So, some super chats.
Let's see. 200 Watt Studio says, does Dietz own an island? How can he afford all those obscure films, The Cat in the Bags? Where does he find them?
Just browsing through the websites. And then you think, what's that nice cover artwork? Click. And especially something like the Double Blind. It's just a normal movie. So it's not, I wouldn't say that title is an expensive title to get. And I was totally thrilled with it when I watched it this afternoon. So for me, great purchase. Just browse through it, Rob gives us the news section. You look what is coming out, and then you stumble across something. Then you do, of course, a little bit of research. Is the movie on Rotten Tomatoes, on IMDb? How does it look? And like I said, Hellboy the Crooked Man, I was on the fence, but was really surprised considering the Crooked Man. And what I liked about the Crooked Man, considering the Hellboy actor, Rob, I didn't know the Hellboy actor. I know Ron Perlman is great, but I still can recognize it's Ron Perlman under makeup.
Right.
But for me, this was a totally new guy. Chain smoking, as crazy. Give it a chance, Rob. Give the Crooked Man a chance. Considering folk horror, it's actually pretty decent. Pretty decent.
All right. So hang on, let me check and make sure that we're caught up, and we are. Oh, wait a minute.
But an island would be nice to stock all the titles. That would be nice.
Tracy,
we need an island, Rob. We should buy an island.
Tracy, A World in Pajamas, says, Merry Christmas to you both. Wish you the best for the new year. Ixion, we just folded space from Ix. Dune Prophecy is excellent.
Okay, nice. Haven't started yet.
That's good.
What do you think, Rob, about Dune Prophecy? Not a big fan?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's okay. I think it's okay.
How far are we in? How deep are we in? How many episodes?
I think it was only 6. I haven't watched it. I think the last episode that's already aired, it's only 6 episodes, I think.
Oh,
right?
Okay. I could.
Yeah, I have fundamental problems with it, but I'm enjoying it. It's interesting. It's not as good as I would want it to be.
You said something that is a spin-off that shouldn't be made.
Well, see, the problem is Frank Herbert wrote 6 Dune books: Dune, Dune Messiah, Children of Dune, God Emperor of Dune, Heretics of Dune, and Chapter House Dune. That's Dune to me. And then Brian Herbert, his son, and Kevin J. Anderson teamed up and wrote a lot of other books about the history and about the individual characters, and some of it's okay, some of it I haven't read all of it, but it just seems like to me Dune is it comes out of one man's mind. And while obviously the Bene Gesserit are so important to the Dune mythology, but when you're not, I guess I find that a lot of people that take up the mantle of original IP creators, they're usually not up to the task. It's very seldom. Like, I know that some people don't like Blade Runner 2049, but I really like Blade Runner 2049. I thought it, and I had a really interesting discussion with Brian Fuller about why he didn't so much like Blade Runner 2049. But I felt that Blade Runner 2049 at least captured the spirit of the first film, because controversial opinion, Blade Runner is not that great of a movie, to be honest. I mean, it's a beautiful vision. It's an incredible vision, but as a movie, as a detective story, it kind of lacks, you know, and I love it. I do love Blade Runner, and it's an incredible experience, but I think people think it's more profound than it really is, because the central question, you know, you have these people that the replicants want more life, these artificial, and we as viewers imbue Blade Runner with more importance than I think it really has in terms of the story it's telling. The story it's telling is great, but that movie could have been a lot more compelling, but you're so entranced by the visuals. Yeah. But in the case of Dune, the whole thing conceptually is so Frank Herbert. And when you start going in and you delve into it's 10,000 years before Dune. And when you're talking about the Bene Gesserit sisterhood, all you can do if you're trying to follow that up is try and make the Bene Gesserit sisterhood feel so it can't help but have some of its Frank Herbertness changed and made more easily accessible to the modern audiences, or so it never feels, it doesn't feel organic to the rest of Dune, because they, by definition, it's not Frank Herbert writing it, and they're speculating. You know, they're going 10,000 years into the past of the Dune universe, and it's like, let's make it the way, well, we kind of think it would be like this. And I feel it's not authentic to Frank Herbert, if that makes any sense, which is the same problem that Rings of Power has. It's the same problem War of the Rohirrim has. You can have the best intentions, but you're trying
what I meant, Rob.
Yeah. I mean, you're trying to take, like, when you're going to tell that story of that War of the Rohirrim tells, you're creating a story and a paradigm based on all the other stories that are like that. So you've got fantasy tropes that Tolkien founded, and then you're trying to go back and you're going to add little bits of this and a little bit of that and try and make a story that's fitting in the Lord of the Rings universe. But the Lord of the Rings universe is so specific to Tolkien that's why I can't stand Rings of Power. I'm like, I don't buy it. You know, you're looking elsewhere, and you're trying to shoehorn generic fantasy tropes into something that, well, Lord of the Rings sort of founded a lot of those fantasy tropes. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but it's not bad.
It's not bad. And as I've seen, Rob, it will come out on 4K.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, so, I mean, you know, but it's not bad. I don't, yeah.
But you wouldn't give it a must-watch, stop everything you're doing.
No, it's not the kind of, it's not, but it's not, yeah, I wouldn't necessarily give it a must-watch.
Okay. But I will get to it now that if the show is done.
Yeah. So, there you go. Anyway, what do you want to do next?
We're caught up, Rob?
Yep.
Okay. I have still stuff to show, Rob. I could do that, but we could do the news section. No, we switched a little bit.
Well, I mean, rock me Amadeus. So, as everyone knows, let's do some news. I got some news for you. As everyone knows, Amadeus was released in a director's or an extended cut a long time ago in a beautiful media book. The problem is the transfer was terrible. It was DNR'd. Everybody looked waxy. It was not a great transfer of one of the great movies of the 80s and one of the great movies really of all time. Peter Schaefer's adapting his own play for the Milos Forman directing. Tom Hulse, F. Murray Abraham. It's such a great movie. I loved Amadeus. I thought it was the best movie of the year. It's so great. Well, Warner Brothers is releasing it finally. Oops, I didn't mean to take the picture with that on there. But it's coming out. I actually like this cover, to be honest. It's great. It doesn't include the director's cut. And this is really interesting. When they created the director's cut for this movie, they actually cut the negative. So they didn't have like a negative of, I've talked about this before, of the original theatrical version. So they had to go in and restore it, which is pretty interesting. Now, I know I don't get why, but like in Europe, you can get a box set of Constantine, a special edition's coming out. I've pre-ordered the whatever the Amadeus thing is coming from. Like, I don't know if it was Groove or Zavi. In Europe, they're having special editions of these things, but I want to get the special edition just because I love Amadeus. And now here's cover's great, and now also they're putting out Constantine, which I like this cover. Simple. I love this movie in 4K. It's also DC branded, which is fun because obviously Constantine is a DC character. But this is coming out in 4K. And again, there's a special edition coming out in Europe. So if you like it, look for that. Now, Francis Lawrence is currently in post on the adaptation of Stephen King, a.k.a. Richard Bachman's book, The Long Walk, which I can't wait to see. One of my most eagerly awaited of the next year. I already gave up the ghost with this one. But My Girl, coming out in 4K from, I believe, Columbia, which is exciting if people like this movie. Macaulay Culkin following up the Home Alone films with this, so that's all good. And then we get to Criterion's new slate, I think February, maybe March. They're putting out Henri Clouzot's The Wages of Fear, and of course Sorcerer was a updating of The Wages of Fear. This movie's incredible. I don't know, Criterion hasn't jumped into HDR or anything like that yet. But they've released this in Europe already, but here's the Criterion version of it in 4K, which is nice. And here's a movie I'm really excited to get. Alan Rudolph, who before the great indie explosion of the late 80s, early 90s was, I loved his indie work. I love this movie. Geneviève Bujold, Keith Carradine, and Leslie Ann Warren are in Choose Me. I love this film, and I can't wait to get it in 4K. I believe it's in 4K. I hope it's in 4K. Which is exciting to see Criterion putting this out. Very much something I've wanted to see come out. And Criterion putting out is terrific. And then we have a movie they put out before, the Gene Hackman movie, Night Moves. Arthur Penn's Night Moves. This is a pretty good movie. I love seeing that Criterion is putting this out. So that's very exciting. But, and now you're gonna know how happy I am about this. You know me and my love of To Live and Die in L.A., Dieter. Well, there's another crime thriller. Speaking of The Keep, there's another crime thriller that you have bought me a copy of, a great chrome-boxed German version years ago, back in the day when we first started the show. One of my favorite movies of all time. It's coming out once again, from Criterion. Bought it once before, but they're putting it out in 4K. I hope that it looks great because this film is a banger. I saw this in the theater with my grandfather in 1981 when it first came out. I fell in love with it. It has some of the greatest profanity you will ever hear. James Caan is searing in it, and that is, of course, Michael Mann's theatrical debut film, Thief. Can't wait. Wow, it's so cool that they're putting this out in 4K. I cannot be more excited about getting a movie in 4K.
Or something like that with the Thief that you...
No, I thought Thief looked good. The color grading was different. On Thief, it looked great. But they did release on this, there's 2 added scenes to the movie, like the director's cut. Yeah. Some people don't like them. I like them. I don't mind them because you delve more into the character of James Caan's character. So I liked them. I'm like, bring it on. So to get Thief in 4K, woohoo! Bring it on. And then, of course, a film I know nothing about, A Woman of Paris. It's Charlie Chaplin, which, hey, I love Chaplin, so this is something, I've never seen this. So Criterion's putting out, this is, hey, again, an embarrassment of riches. And then, of course, as Justin Toner said, the 4K of Godzilla vs. Biollante. I love this movie. The monster's so great. Total fantasy. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Mid-80s Godzilla. Bring it on. Yay. I want it. Then Sony, which previously only released this in one of their, I think in the first Columbia Classics, is putting out The Social Network in a steelbook. So for those of you, I love this movie, one of the most rewatchable movies ever. So that's coming out, and not to be outdone, they are also, and this is very exciting, putting out Panic Room. So we got a Fincher double feature. And this is probably Fincher's most meat and potatoes movie, but still it's brilliantly done. And definitely want to get it. Definitely want to get it. I think Kino Lorber is now putting out Rustler's Rhapsody with Tom Berenger. It's a fun movie, you know. Go Kino Lorber. Then we come to Arrow, putting out some bangers. They teased it. Everyone guessed it. Deep Blue Sea in 4K. Bigger, smarter, faster, and meaner. So, Rennie Harlan, how happy are you about this? I think you're... Hey, wait, you know what I just realized? I don't know why why can't we hear you? Speak again. Well, that's I don't know why try it again.
Hello, everybody.
Now we can hear you. So how happy are you for this?
I'm a happy camper, Rob, considering I'm a fan of Rennie and haven't seen Deep Blue Sea in a long while. So this will be the perfect time.
Yeah, I don't know if I'll get this. I might get it, you know. And then we got some old school stuff getting re-released. Not this. Play It Cool, a Japanese film that I don't know anything about, but look at that cover. Yeah. It's Arrow. Probably awesome. Who knows? I don't know. Then we get an old classic that's been re-released over and over again. Don't Torture a Duckling in 4K. You know, getting some Italian horror, getting some Euro horror. It's always fun to get that. And then, of course, Dressed to Kill. They're doing that. You know, I'd like to see what The Master looks like. A movie that's come out how many times? And a movie I loved is
already out in the States from Kino Lorber.
Yeah, already out in the States from Kino Lorber. And like Usual Suspects, it might only be a European release. I'm not sure. Okay. I think it probably is. And then a movie I liked when I was a kid, George Segal and The Terminal Man. The Terminal Man, an old favorite. And then we've got Sherlock Holmes coming out from Film Masters, The Triumph of Sherlock Holmes and Silver Blaze double feature. They do some good work, so that's interesting. Kino Lorber putting out Daylight, the Stallone movie Daylight.
Awesome.
In 4K. Gotta love that. And Kino Lorber is also putting out, I didn't realize this was a series, but their Peril and Distress series. Remember when I got the first one, I didn't realize it was in 4K until I opened it. But here's Peril and Distress 2. And you've got a Burt I. Gordon movie, Picture Mommy Dead, and Agatha Christie's Endless Nights. And they are two terrifying thrillers coming out. This is a really interesting series. You got Kino Cult and you have Kino's Peril and Distress series, which very exciting. Now we jump down to the land of Oz. The Men Without Hats from Imprint are bringing us Factory Girl, Sienna Miller. Obviously, this is about Andy Warhol. I saw this movie. I liked it. You know, I don't know if I'll pick it up, but I liked it. Then we're getting a movie that was once on Criterion, Man Bites Dog, the full uncut version. This movie is harsh as F if you haven't seen it before. Very exciting that they're putting that out. I like the slipcase. The Catherine Bigelow movie, interestingly enough, my ex-wife did a cover of this movie for Lionsgate back in the 2000s when she worked for them. So Catherine Bigelow's movie, The Weight of Water, coming out based on a novel. I like this movie. I'll pick this up. And then, of course, Shattered Glass with a Jedi Knight, based on a true story.
Just help me out. Was that one of Catherine Bigelow's first movies? I never heard
of
that movie. The Weight of
No, it was an I want to say late 90s movie, early 2000s movie. Yeah, not a lot of people know it, but yeah, it's pretty good. It's got a great cast. So, yeah, definitely worth picking up. And it's slipcase. Why not get that? And then, of course, a movie that I don't own, In the Bedroom, Todd Field's In the Bedroom. Todd Field, who obviously made Little Children and Tar. But now In the Bedroom is coming out from Imprint, which I'll definitely pick this one up. And then finally, Savior, the Dennis Quaid film. The war film. And so that's coming out. Interesting choices from Imprint. Good bunch. You can subscribe to their releases as well. So check them out. Kino Lorber is releasing Film Noir, The Dark Side of Cinema, Volume 24. All of these movies, this comes with Union Station, Jennifer, and The Crooked Circle. These collections are great. I mean, they're really a lot of fun. Oscilloscope, that was founded by one of the members of the Beastie Boys, is putting out Wildcat, and this is a film by Ethan Hawke. It stars his daughter Maya Hawke as author Flannery O'Connor. I saw this movie. I actually really liked it. And we had to read Flannery O'Connor in high school. So if you're interested, pick that up. Oscilloscope does great work. And they have releases that are few and far between. So when they put something out, it's always good to pick it up. Then We Live in Time, coming out from A24. Andrew Garfield and Florence Pugh. If you want to watch Florence Pugh get cancer and get sick and still feel love with Andrew Garfield, you can. Then we jump back over to Britain. Oh my God, 2 Kurosawa bangers coming from BFI, Stray Dog, and I mean, this is a great double bill. Stray Dog and High and Low. Come on, 2 crime thrillers, The Mean Streets of Tokyo, modern day when they were made. I can't wait to get these. Look at that. Go BFI. And of course, their 7 Samurai version is supposed to be the definitive version. Then we jump over to Scream Factory. They're putting out John Carpenter's Vampires, based on the book by John Stakely. This is like the low-budget version of Vampires. I would love to see somebody remake this movie. No shade to John Carpenter, who everyone knows I dearly love. It's just, I'd read this book. I was so excited when he was getting to make this. And I'll tell you something. This movie is not great. And there's some good stuff in it. I like it. But I love this book. And if you could remake a movie, and they made like 3 of these. If you could remake a movie, and one of the interesting things about the book Vampires is John Stakely on the cover, it was the word vampires, but the S, kind of like what James Cameron used to sell Aliens, the S in vampires was a $. And I really felt that the whole essence of the original novel, John Stakely wrote like 2, I don't know if that's a pen name or not, but John Stakely writing a book about vampires, I thought was like, come on, dude. But then he wrote a very Heinlein-esque science fiction novel called Armor. And so both of those books are very much worth reading. I wish somebody would go back and Vampires is so good, the book, and adapt the book again, but give it a much bigger budget. But I'll still get Vampires because it's John Carpenter, and I like it. I like it. James Woods, who's fallen from favor, but he plays Jack Crow. And then from here, look at this, man. Reanimator, the big box set from is it Icon? What is it? What is this from?
A new company, Rob. I have never heard.
Yeah, it's a new company.
Ignite or something.
Ignite Films. It looks like they're coming out swinging, coming out hot. Reanimator, 4-disc set. So it's a deluxe edition box set. Good for them. Probably a Brian Usna company. I'm not sure, but it comes with swag and all kinds of stuff. And, I've got an Arrow Reanimator box set from back in the day, but who can't use another one, right?
You're on that one.
Yeah, why not? And then, of course, I showed the Lionsgate titles already. And, that's exciting. Then let's jump up and find out, to round it out, the top-selling Blu-ray discs, Alien Romulus, The Wild Robot, Deadpool and Wolverine, Interstellar, Beetlejuice, Godzilla -1, No Country for Old Men, which I haven't got to yet, but I finally got my Criterion to that from a sale, Reagan, Star Wars, The Mandalorian, the complete 3rd season, which was terrible, and Twisters. And here we get to the 4K discs, Alien Romulus, Interstellar, Star Wars The Mandalorian, the complete 3rd season, No Country for Old Men, Star Wars Ahsoka, Deadpool and Wolverine, Godzilla -1, The Wild Robot, The Grinch, and Willow. So there you go.
Okay. Nice.
All the news that's fit to print.
Okay. Should I show some stuff, Rob?
Yeah, there's more stuff to show. What'd you get?
Okay.
Come on, buddy.
Considering you had the top 20 selling movies, and I know you probably won't get it, but I had to get it. Of course, I bought Alien Romulus, the Steelbook, because at least I would say it has one of the best sound mixes of this year. And after a second watch, I have to say, Rob, I can at least get over some of the stuff that's in it. And I had a decent time the second time around with Alien Romulus. So the Steel, it's a nice back, comes with the 4K and the Blu-ray
Gotta love that.
And I believe we will get another one, considering the movie was pretty successful
Yeah.
at the box office. Then, this is for me one of Dolph's perhaps underrated movies. It's has a lot of flaws, but somehow it works. It's rough, it's tough. I've got from MVD Man of War from Dolph. It comes with
Nice.
the poster, and it has a little bit of a forward from the director, just a little bit of a greeting, and to have fun with the movie. And there was a little bit of a retrospective interview with, I think, more of a Dolph Lundgren super fan who dove a little bit into the history, how the movie was made. Man of War. It's all about Burchett, Rob. All about Burchett. This one, I probably remember getting, it could be the Japanese Blu-ray from back in the day. But it came out new here from, let me just see the German name of the company. I don't know if it's called 777 because it's not the first one that I got from them. But they put out from Takeshi Miike, Sukiyaki, Western Django with Quentin in it. And this comes with the two versions of the movie. The international version and the longer one. And inside you get the beer coaster for it. You've got the Blu-ray and the DVD. And there is another DVD which should be bonus material, I would think so. And I think this came out, considering the ages, was pretty at the beginning of Blu-ray. And the poster for it. So, Takeshi Miike, Sukiyaki Western Django. Just put it together in here. Beer coaster. And this is a limited edition. Let me just see. Inside, I have number 387 of 777. This one I watched this week. A Korean movie, and mostly the Korean movies are great when they are perhaps not delving into a big budget action movie,
right,
which is this Project Silence, which is, Rob, totally bonkers. It's a catastrophic movie, it's an action movie, it's a horror movie, all combined into one on a single location on a bridge where there's fog, and the fog is really thick, and you have somebody is speeding, you get a great auto crash, car crash, multiple cars, and a military convoy gets tumbled over too, and in it there are dogs that are trained for, slicing and dicing people. So it's a little bit of everything, Rob, in Project Silence. And that was really, really strange to see at the beginning. It was not in the running, but it was played at the Cannes Film Festival, probably to sell the movie. Project Silent. And I think it will come out in the States next year. This is the 4K and Blu-ray. Project Silence. And it's only 90 minutes, so for the running time, totally fine. This one, I don't know, Rob. Perhaps you have shown this. It could be, because it could be out from Criterion in the States. This is the UK one, Wim Wenders.
Yeah, oh man, yeah. Texas, I love that movie so much.
Which comes with a digi for the movie. I have to be careful because there's stuff inside here. So you've got the digi with the two discs for it. Then we have, just see, poster. I think there are two posters, or actually could be 4 motifs for it. Yeah, there are 2 posters. That could be more the original artwork, or at least different ones for it. There's Texas, and then let me just see. I don't know. Is it swag or booklet? No, it's a booklet in it for the movie.
Yeah.
This is the UK version. It came out in Germany as well. I think in a little bit of a different variation. So Paris, Texas. Just get back together here. 2 posters. So put it over here. Then this one from Arrow, which came with 2 editions that I got. Of course, I got the good, the bad, and the weird. One of my all-time favorites from Korea, and I was happy to get the Japanese Blu-ray back in the day, which featured the longer version, and now Arrow rectified it with this edition in 4K with both versions, the international and the Korean version. So we got the 3 main people here, mostly some are known to the people who watch Korean cinema. So we got the 4K of the. The second one is the Blu-ray, but I think on the 4K there are the 2 versions. Let me just check it quick. Yeah, both cuts of the film are on the 4K. Got the poster for it. So this was a title that I was not expecting at all, getting a 4K release, because I had my Japanese one in high regard, because it didn't even gotten, I think, in Korea a release of the longer version. I
Nice.
think even in Korea there was only the shorter version released back in the day, but I could be wrong. Or the Korean one was out of print, because the Korean releases are always pretty fast selling out. So the good, the bad, and the weird. Oh, sorry. Yep. And I love that Arrow is now putting slip around it. Good, the bad, weird. And the other one, of course, was Demolition Man.
Yeah.
Arrow tricked us, Rob. They tricked us because they didn't put the three seashells in. You know, we still don't know how they work. You know, could you imagine how good this set would be if you got those 3 seashells and would never have to buy toilet paper again? That would be an easy Schnäppchen, Rob. That would be a Schnäppchen then with the 3 seashells. You know. So Demolition Man from Arrow. Usual stuff. And I totally forgot, haven't seen the movie in a long time, how funny actually Demolition Man is.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
And considering Demolition Man, when I saw it again, I thought it's a way ahead of its time, considering the PG-friendly future, you know?
Right.
Don't say a bad word and something like that. So, considering the stuff that's in it, it was ahead of its time, I would say.
It was ahead of its time.
But we only knew that when we get to the future and watch those movies again, you know? when he sweared and get one ticket after another. I thought, well, it's actually not that far off from our future. We can't say anything bad or you get cancelled. Of course, we have a booklet for the Demolition Man.
Yeah, and everyone says the transfer is great.
Yep. It's a little bit, for my take, you have to expect a little bit wavering, you know? Not every shot is crystal clear, you know?
Yeah.
There are some soft spots here and there. Demolition Man.
Very nice.
Then, okay, I saved that for last. Media books time, Rob. For media books. For me, one of the cool movies of the year, which lived up to the hype. I got a media book from Cape 4 Strange Darlings, of course.
Well, since I still
Yeah.
haven't. I did get. Where did I put it? Oh, I put it right here.
Yeah.
I did get the UK.
The UK one, yeah.
The
Nice.
UK special edition that has a
Which
poster.
comes with lobby cards, I think.
Yeah, it comes with a poster and lobby cards. I love this. Have you watched this yet?
Yeah.
Roy Lee produced it.
Well,
Great stuff. You know, it's
Totally.
the same thing. Came with 2 disc set.
yeah.
So that was one of the things I got.
Blu-ray and the 4K.
Great stuff.
Yeah.
Such a great movie. Love it.
Totally. Considering Sneaky Pete did the cinematography, Sneaky Pete.
I know, right?
I say. Yeah. This one I already owned, the Lionsgate standard one, but it came out from
Oh,
Cape Light.
it's me.
It's Cape
I
Light
meant
here,
to, I meant
and
to go to you. Hang on.
I had to get the media book 2 for Kill,
Yeah.
of course. Which comes with the 4K, which doesn't have the usual rating because, Rob, it didn't get through the usual MPAA here. LSK, uncut. Because this movie back in the 80s would probably be forbidden, or cut.
Oh
or
yeah.
censored to death back in the day, But I had a great time with just name your movie, Kill, and it totally delivered on that promise. The next movie I bought, I think it's not that far ago when I showed the Australian version, and this is an Australian movie, but Turbine. Once again, did a 4K of it, and I love the movie. I got Wolf Creek in 4K. The thrill is the hunt.
It is in
Ein
the hunt.
Abstecher nach Wolf Creek. Yeah. So with, of course, media book part, which, of course, we have picture from Texas Chainsaw Massacre here, which is clearly a little bit of an influence on that movie. And the Blu-ray in the back. And it is, as far as I know, of course, the unrated version. And it comes with Dolby Vision, Wolf Creek. Rob, one of the greatest things this year for me was when you told the people I'm a trustworthy guy. And Rob, I have to shatter that illusion now. I'm a fraud, I'm a hypocrite, and I'm a liar.
Oh no.
Because I told you on this show, back when I saw the movie digitally, that I would not purchase this movie. Because the ending was atrocious. The ending killed the movie for me. And I would not buy that movie. But it did fulfill one of my axioms, Rob. Memorable kills. And I bought it, Rob. Because Cape Light put it out. At first, I wanted to get the US version because the Blu-ray is really fairly priced. And it comes with a Blu-ray just with bonus features. And I thought, okay, I will get it. Then Cape Light swooped in, Rob, with a media book with 4K. So, Rob, even if I said I will not buy the movie, I bought it.
Oh, you're a bad man. Well, you know what? I can't blame you. It's a nice book. It's a nice.
I'm a liar, Rob. I'm a liar. I bought in a violent nature. Here's a little bit of the picture of perhaps the most memorable kill of this year. Even more memorable than the Terrifier 3 stuff. And I think they are even planning doing a sequel, of course, because it had a little bit of a buzz. Media book for inner violent nature, which is actually not that great of a movie, considering the last 10 or 15 minutes of it. I only have one title to show. Should I do it or to switch it over to you?
I've only got one more title too.
Okay. So, Rob, you showed the separate title, North by Northwest, but I decided I will go with this box set of Alfred Hitchcock, which featured probably, I would say, his most recognizable.
Where did that come from?
It's out in Germany and I think in the UK too, Rob.
Wow, that's
So
really
it comes with I would say these are the 6 most known movies of it. Psycho, The Birds, Vertigo, North by Northwest, Rear Window, and To Catch a Thief. I would say these are the 6
That's a definitive. What a
known
gorgeous
movies.
box set. Are those all 4K?
Yeah, those are all the 4Ks. So this is the master of suspense. So I didn't get North by Northwest separately. You know this, Rob?
Yeah, well, if it's in there.
Yeah,
Wow, that's really nice. What a cool set that is.
So there's only 4Ks, no Blu-rays, and a little bit of telling about the movie here.
Yeah, that's
And
really nice.
Haven't gotten into it. I don't know if it is swag or what is in here. Let me just see. I love it to play with the audience like on a piano, says it in German on the back. Let me just see. Oh, these are a lot of cards, I would assume. And a booklet. Yeah. You have the booklet. I love the artwork of that. You can see
Yeah.
movies again. So a little bit of history. And then we have here probably the old poster artwork, perhaps. Rob can help me out here.
Yeah.
The window.
The old classic posters. Yep. That's the
Vertigo.
very famous Vertigo poster. Yeah.
North by Northwest. And Psycho.
All
And
right.
there are, on the back, you have artwork 2.
100%.
So the Hitchcock box set, Rob. Hitchcock box set. With,
Nice.
for me, probably the 6 most known movies.
Absolutely. So
So
that's
this
it.
was my haul, Rob. Almost 40 titles. People, are you happy now?
A great haul it is. I only have one more title that was a straggler from the Criterion sale. And I have to say, Best Picture winning, No Country for Old Men, HDR,
nice.
color grade. This disc looks incredible. I put this on. This is eye-popping. This transfer is eye-popping. I watched this as soon as it came in. I was like, oh, my God, I got to watch this. And I put it on, and I was Roger Deakins, the great Roger Deakins, working for the Coen brothers.
I can only imagine, Rob, because even the Blu-ray back in the day looked great.
This is just spectacular. It's great. 2-disc set. All the special features on the Blu-ray. It's amazing. Definitely worth getting. Highly recommended. I love the movie. If you love the movie, get this disc. It is incredible. The transfer is incredible.
And I think it's a little bit price reduced at the moment, even at Amazon.
It could be. I mean, I bought it at the sale, so I don't know. Yeah. It hadn't come out yet, so it was a pre-order. Absolutely spectacular.
Nice.
By the way, Daniel Senstem writes in and said, "Here's a Christmas quiz for you. American Psycho 1 or 2. You know William Shatner's in the second one. What are you gonna do now? Ho ho ho." That was very funny. I like that. Well, look, I know American Psycho 2 has William Shatner in it, but you got to take the original. And now they're remaking American Psycho with Austin Butler, Elvis himself. I'll watch it. Luca, I can never pronounce his last name. Guadagnino.
Guadagnino. Yeah.
Guadagnino. He remade Suspiria, and that was interesting. I'll watch American Psycho.
Challengers.
I'll watch it. And Challengers I really liked. So, hey.
Me too, Rob. Great.
So there you go. But American Psycho 2 is not the caliber of American Psycho 1. It's amusing, but yeah.
Would be nice to know how far they are willing to go with the remake.
Yeah, it's going to be I don't know. It'll be real. I just don't. I know it's going to be a reimagining. I don't know if it's going to be set in the 80s like the original, but it's fine. I would love to see him make an original horror film and see what he comes up with. So
totally. But considering, like you said, Rob, this Suspiria remake could be totally different thing.
Yeah, it could be
with it.
So we'll see. But So that brings me to I have nothing more to say. I'm supposed to jump onto another show that I was supposed to jump onto an hour ago. So, hey, what can I do?
Well, Rob, you can at least take a break, and I would go through the live chat from 2 weeks ago.
We can do that.
Take a little bit of a break, Rob.
Yeah, maybe I'll jump over to another show.
Not today, or probably not today, considering how many titles we had to show. Previously on Let's Get Physical Media. Considering my injury, Alpendal said, Dieter argued with some streaming fanatics. Could be. Gary Benjo Sandwich Worthington, Dietz does stunts like Tom Cruise. Yes, I'm doing them myself, even if it was more of a clumsy fall. Paul in Long Beach. Dieter, with that t-shirt, looks like he had a skateboard tumble, which I didn't, but could be true. Finity, the timey-wimey-limey. Dieter, we need you. I'm here. Gary Benjo Sandwich Worthington, because Rob said we would do that big show, and I said I had other obligations. I couldn't do the show. And he said, no Dietz, we riot. And Finity, the timey-wimey-limey says, Rob's casual Californian style works best when counterpointed by Dieter's European savior fare. Okay, nice to know. Eucalyptus, no Dietz, no show. Kevin Welburn, Dieter is very demanding, but worthwhile. Freddie Lane, no Dietz, no show. Finity, the timey-wimey-limey. These two are legit my favorite YouTube double act. That's nice to hear. And he goes on to say, I think the opposite. Rob is a little slacking regarding Star Trek canon. Rob, more gatekeeping, please. Albidal, I just wanted to give Dietz credit for making Rob to not speak about Star Trek for 2 hours until the quiz, but now this. Because Rob had a big Star Trek rant to get off his chest 2 weeks ago. The Alex Sorber, I always love a good Rob rant. We all do. Ron Henriquez says, greetings, Dieter and Rob. I've seen Pushpa 2. This was the Indian movie that Rob mentioned. Jumped into the box office top 10. The Rule, it's great fun about the rise of an Indian gangster who profits from and smuggles rare sandalwood. Part 1 is on Amazon Prime. Part 3 is coming. So, franchise already. Dickie Holmes, Nosferatu may be the first time I go back into a movie theater since Solo. Other than that, what a pathetic December for box office. Okay. Rob, but you have not seen Nosferatu. Some people have seen Nosferatu.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go see it this week.
Okay, nice. I don't know if it will be out in Germany, I think next year, not this week. Major Chai, I spent Y2K on Tuesday. I had to wait through 3 clock rollovers to Y2K before I could go home, just in case systems went down and hell broke loose. But luckily, it didn't happen. Ron Enriquez, I didn't care much for the Blair Witch Project when it came out. It's grown on me, though. One thing I do remember was just how brilliant their marketing campaign was, changed everything. Here comes the kicker on. If you watch the documentary, that was not planned at all that marketing stuff. It was just people copying the movie on video cassette because it was on a videotape. The website blew up, but it was not really thought out, that marketing campaign. It was just came to fruition from itself, and the rumors around the movie. Ron Enriquez, gender-directed margin call, All is Lost, A Violent Year, and Triple Frontier. Here's the only reason I'll be checking out Craven. I hope you did, because it doesn't seem many watched it. Robert Thomas Watson, I hated Return of the Jedi back in 1983 and still do. It's known as having an opinion. Okay. The Alex Sorber, unpopular opinions. If I say I'm not a fan of any Star Wars movie ever made, I think that would get much abuse. Why I keep it a secret. It will stay between the two of us. Major Chai, I never thought The Godfather would resonate with me, but I found the story to be Shakespearean and the imagery fascinating. Nice. Conte 007 asked, did Dieter like Subservience? Because he said, I really enjoyed Subservience and Megan Fox wasn't too bad either. Unfortunately, Conte 007, I have not seen Subservience yet. Eucalyptus, overrated movie of 2024 is The Substance. I wouldn't say so. It's right there where it belongs. But I don't see it getting much awards love. It's just for me, for the Academy, it's too far out there. The Substance. It'd be nice to the movie to get some recognition, but perhaps it's too far out there for them. But they could change their mind. Tim Hens, over 30 minutes in and still no physical media shown. Thought this was the show was all about, showing off this week. Tim, you're not the first time watcher. Don't you know how the show is jumping around? No, you should know that by now. Monsieur Godet, Strange Days 4K, US release, please, without the Park Road treatment. That could be a thing, the Park Road treatment for Strange Days. Monsieur Godet, okay, this was the same one. And considering that Thomas Logan that bought me Hidden, which I already owned, Eucalyptus Dietz got scammed. No, I wasn't scammed. He did meant well, but I already owned the title. BCH, the thought of Dieter having an OnlyFans account is hilarious. And Eucalyptus says, Dietz, drop your OnlyFans link. BCH, seems to be a lack of naked soldiers in those photos, which I showed the movie. I haven't seen it. I hope there will be naked soldier. Monsieur Godet, the last time I got a gift, it was the worst Square Enix game ever made and used. And I was told it's the thought that counts. The Last Remnant instead of Final Fantasy. Yeah, you got scammed too. Eucalyptus, a piece of me dies every time I see Dietz drink room temperature Coke. Why do you think it's room temperature? You know what you do? It's in the fridge, of course. And before the show, just an half hour, you put it in the freezer. I'm not like US people where you have that kind of licorice and the rest is just ice cubes. That's the original taste. Not water it down. Miele, Let's Get Physical Media needs to do one giveaway every show. Man, those greedy bastards, Rob. Those greedy bastards. A giveaway show every week. Okay, let's do the giveaway for Godzilla -1. I'm not the connoisseur that Rob is with Godzilla knowledge, so I had to go to the internet to get some trivia questions that you have to answer to get Godzilla -1 Italian steel. And let me just see where I have them. You have to answer two questions. And I hope the trivia got me the right answers. Question number 1. What type of animal is Godzilla according to the original film? And the second one is, who is the main antagonist in Godzilla, the Planet Eater?
What, you're asking me?
No, I asking the people in the live chat. Or do you want to win?
No.
So I need 2 words to see in the live chat. Once again, first question was, what type of animal is Godzilla according to the original film? And who is the main antagonist in Godzilla, the Planet Eater? So you have to know a little bit of Godzilla knowledge to know that. I'll wait a little bit to see if someone in the live chat comes up with it.
I don't know, man.
Or perhaps everybody has already the Godzilla -1.
That's it. They just don't know the answer.
What type of animal is Godzilla according to the original film? And who is the main antagonist in Godzilla, the Planet Eater? You know what, people? I let I let the live chat go. Since I go through the live chat, I will see who will answer the 2 questions correctly. Because at the moment, I have not seen the correct answers yet. And I thought there were considered knowledgeable
I don't know. I'm looking.
people here. Okay. No, at the moment not. But I will go through the live chat and see if someone will get it right. So let me just get back to the live chat. Considering Miele says, let's get Visual Media has to do a giveaway every show. And Tele wants to know, Rob, have you seen Memoir of a Snail? I have heard of that.
By the way, bro, you got to keep looking at the somebody did get the right answer about the main protagonist in Godzilla versus the Planet Eater, who the villain is.
But did he answer the first question too?
Oh, I don't know. I just saw the other one come up.
I wanted the two things, Rob. You know? No.
Well,
I want.
Look. Major Chai Chai got one of them.
Okay.
I don't know.
Put 2 and 2 together because I see the first one answered correctly here too. Now you have only put 2 and 2 together right now. Because I see the right answers, but not combined.
Yeah, that's the thing. One of
Five Dot Toaster has the first one correctly. But the second one is missing. But someone has the second one right here too, but not the first one. Okay, I will say I let that count. Blaze Asian. It's Dinosaur and King Ghidorah, but he says prehistoric reptile and King Ghidorah. I will say that's the right one.
All right.
Correct. Dinosaur and King Ghidorah. So Blaze Asian, you won.
Although it's, I mean, that's so stereotypical that Blazing Asian wins to get a Godzilla movie. You know,
if you're following me on Instagram,
I think that's Asian privilege. Asian privilege right there, dude. Come on.
Yeah. So Dinosaur and King Ghidorah was the answer. Rob, have you seen Memoir of a Snail, the animated movie?
No, I have not.
Or is it stop motion, something like that? I think.
Are you talking?
I've only heard about the movie Memoir of a Snail. I don't think it could be even in the running. I think for Academy Award, considering animation movie, but it could be wrong.
No,
Marco.
I was thinking like Marcel the Shell, no. Which I have seen.
Good. Dieter's nickname around the strip joints is Hands because he can't keep them to himself. No Money G. Rob and Dieter are single-handedly keeping physical media alive by doing this show. Yeah. And it's not good for my bank account either. Danzig, 1979. How can we see this gift list and does Rob have one? You just go to Amazon Germany and Google gift list Dieter. It's public. You should get it. Rob, do you have actually a gift list on Amazon for people?
You know what? I've never had a gift list ever. Because everyone gets mad at me because everything.
Make it public if people want to send you something.
The thing is, I mean, that'd be really nice, but I buy everything I want because the stuff I want is so specific. Everybody gets mad at me because we can't buy you anything. I'm like,
yeah, and that's why I made that gift list drop for people that, unlike Thomas Logan, did buy me something I don't already have. No, just a 4-drop. Make a gift list. You know.
I mean.
Could be.
You know, to be honest, the only things that I buy, I mean, if you think about, like, I'll buy an occasional action figure. You know, I've kind of, like, I don't, Hot Toys, there's so many Hot Toys figures coming out, and there's so many action figures coming out that it's frustrating because you can't, they're too expensive and you can't. So discs are really the only things that I buy, and now I'm getting more and more of them from companies. And then I'm buying stuff Criterion. And now it's just the special edition stuff when it comes out. But there's really, even though there's a lot of stuff coming out, and books, and you know, I can't really, I don't know. I'll come across a book, and I'll buy it, and I wouldn't know. Like, by the way, if I may, if you're at all interested in space and existentialism, I know this won the Booker Prize in 2024. This book is great. Orbital.
Orbital.
Yeah, orbital. I can't even say orbital. President Obama put this on one of his Books of the Year list.
Yeah.
You can read it in one sitting. It's a beautiful, beautiful book, and I really enjoyed it. Beautifully written, and it takes place on a space station, on the space station.
Nice.
So
Nice.
check it out.
Yeah. So Rob, make a gift list. Drop the link in the chat steeds. Major Chai Chai, Dieter's OnlyFans account is in the same place as the super secret hentai room at the San Diego Comic-Con. Victor Fontaine will be bumping the 65-inch up to a 100-inch flat screen in the theater room thanks to the Cyber Monday deals. Definitely need to bump up all my physical media to 4K now. Video under D, Longlegs is dope. And Tele, I thought Longlegs wasn't that bad. Isn't that bad, but didn't live up to the hype. Mike Joseph. Nah, Longlegs was legitimately great. And Altmetall is more on my side. I'm with you, 6.5 and 7. Not more for me, too. Paul and Brunotto, I like Cuckoo much more than Longlegs. Paul, you and I park our shuttlecraft in the same shuttle bay. Played out. Cage has been great in many, many movies. That Longlegs role would be tough for anybody. No, was the Cage Rage. Video under D, Longlegs is definitely better than Cuckoo. No, it's not. Justin Toner, never give up, never surrender, considering the slogan of Galaxy Quest. And Miele says, after my marriage, it became always give up, always surrender. Well, this was great, Miele. This was great. Always give up.
Touché.
Hey, Miele, Dieter can't handle the truth. Yeah, sometimes it's tough. And the Alex Sorber, didn't Rob explain all this last night about Galaxy Quest? Yes, he did on observation already. 100,007. Rob, can you please ask your contacts at Kino to add a Dolby Atmos audio track to Dante's Peak and River Wild? I don't know if Rob has that power to persuade the people at Kino Lorber to put a different audio track on the discs. It would
Plus,
be
if
nice
a Dolby Atmos track doesn't exist,
Yeah.
they'd have to create one, and that's a tall order.
Totally. Because on Kanto 007 go on, they never do Atmos. And Jones says, considering Rob and Galaxy Quest with the flashbacks to the old TV show, that's a little bit too silly, says, you're thinking about it way too hard, Rob. Yeah, totally. Eucalyptus, Steeds on Twitter. No, I'm not on X. You can find me on Instagram. Adventure Square, the Speak No Evil remake was great, but I didn't know it was a remake of a thing. So probably, Adventure Square, I hope you gone back to the original Danish one and found out there's a better movie was made back then. Victor Fontaine, Skeleton Crew falls into the same category as Moana and Wicked for me. I have no interest in seeing it. Outpost 31, Patrick Stewart says Galaxy Quest is the best Star Trek film ever made. And Rogue Finger, that is exactly why I hate the recent Dungeons & Dragons movie. It's campy and silly and winks at the audience and says how dumb Dungeons & Dragons and the people that play it are. Degrades the males and makes everything a joke. Rogue Finger, I had a great time with Dungeons & Dragons. I would love to see a sequel to that movie. This is a question for Rob, but I think it's true. R. Hilton, Fine Art. Is it true that Jeff Bezos owned the Enterprise refit model?
Yes,
I think yes.
he does.
Jeff Bezos,
Yes, he does. Yeah. It's in the lobby of his rocket company, Blue Origin. Yeah. And he bought it at the Christie's auction, and he bought it for less than the Enterprise D model went for.
Ooh, the D was more expensive.
Yeah, the D went for $500,000. $500,000. I mean, it was a bargain. And, you know, I mean, it's cool. It just, I saw a picture of it. I've actually, that refit model, when I was working on Star Trek The Experience, when I was editing all the stuff for when we were building, Landmark was building Star Trek The Experience, they brought down the refit model that was built for the motion picture, and it had recently been used. The last time it was used was in Star Trek VI. And so this was in, I want to say, 97.
Yeah.
They brought it down from ILM in this big crate, and they uncrated it because they built a 20-foot one, and they used that as the model that they were recreating. So
I remember all the models in the.
Yeah, and I could go. I would go have lunch where they were building the big Enterprise and just hang out next to it. Like, ooh,
Dream
there's
come
the
true, Rob. Dream come true.
It's beautiful.
Eucalyptus. Who won the Deadpool 3 4K? Ron Henriquez won it, and he already has it. Miele, Dieter, you did my name justice. I hope so. Cheers. And that was the live chat readout, Rob, from 2 weeks ago.
Well, there you go. All right.
Yeah. Just check, Rob, if you have some super chats left. I don't know.
I will look. I think we're all caught up, but I'll take a gander. I'll see what we got going. This has been a long show.
Yeah.
Totally. Nope, we're good there. And PGS Hero. Nope, we're good. I think we're good.
Rob, next. Yep.
Wait a minute. You know what? Anonymous sent in a tip and says, "Will it be possible to release the steelbooks of Django Unchained and Grindhouse?" I don't know. Django is coming out from Arrow.
What does he mean to release this? Oh, from LIONSGATE.
Yeah.
From LIONSGATE. Okay.
Could be. I don't know. That's a good question. I think Grindhouse, is that a Lionsgate movie? Is Grindhouse Lionsgate?
I think so, Rob. It's Robert Rodriguez.
Because I thought, wasn't that Miramax? I don't think it's.
Yeah, you're right, Rob. It was Miramax actually.
Yeah, and I got that Australian box set they put out.
Yeah.
But
I have no idea at the moment who owns the rights.
Yeah, I don't know.
To that. It was probably all over the world differently.
You know what? And that tip came in. It just showed up now, but he asked that when Lisa was here, so I apologize.
Okay.
For what I'll do is I'll contact if maybe, but I'll look because I don't think they have the rights. I'm not sure. They might.
No,
I don't think they do.
Unchained from Sony too, Rob.
Yeah, I don't know.
Once upon a time in the West.
I don't know.
In Hollywood. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Well, listen, I'm going to see if I can go on to that other show. I'm so late. They're probably wondering, am I ever going to show up?
I invited Cody Leach next week on Sunday for his releases of the year. Is this okay for you?
Yeah, I was going to wait, but I'll ask the other people if they want to come on. I'll ask George. I'll ask that'd be fine. Yeah, Cody. Ask Cody. That's great if he wants to come on.
Yeah.
Elliot Cohen was still interested, and maybe Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader. What are your favorite releases of the year, buddy? No, I mean he has good taste in that stuff, but everybody should go watch his channel. By the way, everybody go to Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader's channel, flood his channel, subscribe, and tell him that we sent him there. Tell him that Robin Dietz from Let's Get Physical Media sent all of you to Damn Fool Idealistic Crusader. So go over there and tell him we think he's great.
So
see what he says.
Ja. Jede Person, die du triffst, hat eine Geschichte zu erzählen, die du noch zu hören hast. Alles, was du tun musst, ist zuhören.
Every person you meet has a story to tell that you have yet to hear, and all you have to do is listen. I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. I have no problem as a Jew saying Merry Christmas. I think it's so stupid. Can I just say it's fucking dumb when people say, you say Happy Holidays. No. I don't understand why do we have such a thin skin? Why does everybody think the world should know everything about you before they open their mouths? I think saying Merry Christmas, as a Jew, I love Christmas. Happy Hanukkah, Happy New Year. Be specific. And if you get offended by that kind of stuff, you are a Scrooge. You're Scrooge McDuck. And it's so bizarre that everybody gets so incensed when you go out into the world, and if somebody says something that, you can't say that, I only celebrate Kwanzaa. Okay, happy Kwanzaa. I mean, I don't know, why does everybody expect well, not everybody does, but I like Christmas.
Considering, Rob, your Seinfeld, Festivus for the rest of us. Think about
okay, the Festivus, I don't know what I'll get there.
No, but for the rest of us.
Look, I like Christmas. I like holidays. I like all holidays. I like to learn about holidays. I like to learn about people. But I think, everybody go watch Love Actually, and they can all come back to me and tell me what a terrible Christmas movie it is. I love it. I love it. I never got that on 4K, though. Anyway.
I think the transfer was not good, Rob, considering Love Actually. I think the transfer was pretty bad.
Oh, yeah.
If I remember the reviews correctly, Rob.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't buy it.
Get great reviews.
Probably why I didn't buy it.
Yeah.
But I wish everybody a great Christmas and a great Hanukkah. We'll be back here next week, and Hanukkah will still be going. So maybe I should still make an Amazon gift list.
Yeah, gift list. Make it. Make a gift list.
Oh, you know what I didn't talk about? Can I just mention?
Yeah.
One of my favorite video game series of all time, hack and slash, is Onimusha. Do you ever play Capcom's Onimusha?
No, I haven't. I've heard about it, and you told us.
There's a trailer.
Observation.
Yeah. There's a trailer for the new Onimusha. It's coming out in 2026. It's not big, but it's just if you're an Onimusha fan, I was like, somebody on X said that it was coming out. I was like, no way, and they sent me a link to the trailer. So in terms of, I'm already looking forward to things in 2026, and as I get older every year, I think to myself, should I be looking forward to things that far in the future? With the way the world is going,
we need something to look out for.
Yes, well, 2026 is already stacking up. Onimusha for my PS5. Can't wait to get that. I mean, it's not an open sandbox game. You're going through a dungeon. You're fighting creatures. It's hack and slash. It is very gratifying. Now, if somebody can bring me, as I said, SSX, bring me back the SSX franchise back, then, or a new Burnout.
The new Happy Camper.
All my stress-releasing games. And we'll get Grand Theft Auto 6. That's always fun, too. So,
Totally.
Anyway, thanks, everybody, for watching. Thank you for generously supporting this channel via Super Chats and tips and everything. And if I might make a plea, if you like audio dramas, I can't leave without saying, please go to truenoir.co, TRUENOIR.co, no M on the end, CO. And please, my latest work, which I'm extremely proud of, I know it's only an audio drama, but I'm very proud of True Noir, and Bill Hunt at the Digital Bits gave it a stellar review. People have been giving it great reviews. I even might have sent it to somebody out there. I might have sent episode 4 to somebody. I sent episode 4 to one person who's a member of this community, who's been an ardent supporter of it, helped out. And so, episode 4 is pretty good. Al Capone.
Like I said, Rob.
Anthony
My new
Poglia.
favorite word. Pickpocket detail.
Yeah, you like those are 2 words. That's 2 words. Pickpocket detail.
I don't care, Rob. This is my new phrase.
All right, everybody. Well, I will see you all later. Yeah, awesome. All right. Oh, wait. Special thanks to all the moderators and to Tom Jr. Jackson.
Lord Toth.
And Lord Toth and everybody else. I forgot to say that. Forgot to thank everybody. So yeah, thank you guys. Thanks very much. And Justin Toner, everybody. And we'll see you next week. There you go. All right. I'm gonna run and see if I can get in on the last bit of this stream.
Bye.